And here we go. We're live.
We are?
Well, it says we are. There we go. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's see what it looks like.
To see us.
All right. That looks pretty good, I think. All right, so today we're doing a very special episode of LangTime Studio for Thanksgiving 2021. We are going to go ahead and take a look back at our very first episode, which we're going to play right now. And then we're going to see what it looks like.
So not ready, but I'm also like, oh, this is Top Chat replay.
Top Chat replay.
Should we have...
Now, live chat replay. Here we go.
I was like, how are we...
Hopefully we are streaming.
That
No
doesn't
way is
seem
the
very
volume
loud.
right.
First thing we're going to do is make sure that everybody can hear
Because remember,
us.
we were so quiet
If you can
when
hear
we
us,
started the...
let us know.
Oh,
Yeah.
the technological
Somebody said
issues.
yes.
Yeah, volume is much better now.
Cool. Somebody said yes. I mean, oh, hey, there we are. It's
Good.
so yeah,
God.
we're on a bit of a lag.
Can I just say that,
fix
especially
later,
compared to right
but,
here, I
you
look
know,
so good right now.
Just so you know. Oh, thank God, it sounds good.
And just look at me.
Went through.
Hey.
Did you
I have
want the
no idea
comparison?
what I
It's
went
just
through.
extraordinary how much better
Anyway.
looking I am.
So yeah,
right now than I
welcome
was,
to
yeah.
LangTime Studio episode 1. I am
This will be
David
interesting.
Peterson. I guess
Oh, no,
we'll
you
do
sound
a fuller introduction for this one.
Don't you?
Oh, sure.
Little
Okay,
bit.
Yeah.
I'm David Peterson. I was born in Long Beach. I created languages for Game of Thrones and.
You're in your office,
My
aren't you?
school office.
What
Yeah.
even is the second best one? Like, what's the second best one? The 100?
Well, if you're asking
Defiance.
popular opinion, or are you asking what my favorite of
Let's
your
see what you
shows
say.
are?
I know you
You're
like.
going to say Emerald City.
I know you.
And
like
Defiance.
And Defiance. Yeah, I liked Defiance. And that was my favorite to work on. I loved working on Defiance. Bright was my second favorite to work on. Just a wonderful, wonderful thing to work on that. But I mean, I don't
By
know.
the way,
what
this
my
whole
second
time I was so nervous.
like the second Thor.
You don't look it.
Nobody liked it.
Just
I mean,
because
I did,
I'm
but
good at
I
covering
guess
up
I'm
doesn't mean I'm
popular
not.
opinion.
I also like these
Jazz.
headphones of yours.
I liked Doctor
Yeah, my
Strange.
Beats. I still
but,
have them.
my work on it was minimal. Like
I still wear them while I
blink and you wouldn't
meditate.
notice it. I guess The Witcher now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got one person saying they can't hear. Oh no.
Oh, it's W.
Can't
Watson.
hear both of us?
Wow.
or just
And
me?
Alt is
I have no
here.
idea.
Like,
Yeah.
It seems like most of the
it'll be
people in
cool
the
to
stream
see,
can hear.
some
so
of our
that's good.
chatters.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Some people can't. I don't. know
I
what
wonder
to
if
do.
W.
I just-
Watson knows that the
I give
first
up.
thing that
Like,
he
I
ever
just
said
give
was,
up.
can't
Don't worry,
hear.
there'll be stuff on the screen.
Well, if we watch this, he will.
Or
Jason didn't know I worked on The Witcher.
Or
Come on.
we can sign. All right.
By the way, looking back
Oh,
at this,
totally.
you can see
My-
that
and
we
my
have
sign is-
one
So rusty.
downvote.
It'll be a wonderful
305
No.
likes, one
Slow
dislike. I
conversation.
want to know who that person was. It's
Probably
probably...
because they couldn't
Alright.
hear us.
No, it's probably Bibleridian saying that
I
should be
worked on The
me.
Witcher. In fact, I created a writing system for The
That
Witcher.
is in you
But
or
you
me?
wouldn't know it because I did all this work for it. You know, you
Which
can't
one of
see it.
these?
Did you watch
I
The
mean,
Witcher?
first he probably said that,
Did
you
I?
know,
Yeah.
it should have
No?
it should have been
No.
him instead
It's
of you.
fine.
Ah,
You'll enjoy
Now.
it. I mean, maybe. I
Yeah.
Should
don't.
be mean him
I don't
instead
really
of
know
me.
you.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just have not watched it yet, but my sister-in-law was actually watching it when I was visiting them over the holidays.
Watching what, The
And
Witcher?
as long
The
as it
Witcher,
doesn't get too gory,
You
that was
haven't
always
watched
my
it yet.
problem. was
Now you
I
can tell the
can't handle a
truth.
lot of
You're not
on-screen
gonna
gore.
watch it.
I
What if
still
it's
haven't
cartoonish?
watched it yet.
Yes,
You would
that
think
is
that
true.
would
You
make
have
a
not
difference,
watched it yet.
but
That is
I
true.
have to close my
And
eyes
will
and
you
watch
ever?
Python when
Will
the
you?
camera's behind.
It's on Netflix. We have it.
Who knows?
It might be rough for you. It might be rough for you, especially that first episode. But it's so cool, that action sequence.
Yeah, it
People
is.
seem to know what I'm talking about. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So
First episode, they really knock
that's
it out
me.
of the
That's enough.
park.
Okay, so Jesse, please.
I'm Jessie Sams. Hello.
Okay.
I teach linguistics, and
do you?
I have worked on, my favorite show to work on for me was Motherland Fort Salem. Will be airing on Freeform in March, and so that was very exciting.
It hadn't aired yet?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
It didn't start
So,
till March.
And now we're recording, we're doing season 3. How
I want
about
to address
that?
this in the beginning. So,
Pretty crazy, right?
some people
Yeah.
are saying that they can barely hear us. Some people are saying it's no problem. Is it both me and Jesse? Is it just Jesse? And now we wait.
That hasn't
Especially
changed,
with that
right?
slight bit lag, that makes it interesting to wait for the comments on specific questions.
Yeah.
There's Jason Reed saying the audio is fine for him.
Okay.
You know, the funny thing is, as people
well,
watch this, they're
Hoboman
not going to
Cat
be able to
1,
see the
I
brand new
teach all sorts
comments
of linguistic
No, they
because
classes.
our
are,
video
because-
is covering it.
I actually teach an invented languages class, which is my favorite to teach.
Mm-hmm.
But I also teach, structured
Also, we're
structures
right
of
on
English,
track
history, English language,
for this,
English
for
grammar,
future
lots of
episodes, and that
English
we've done no
linguistics,
conlanging yet.
things like that. So all sorts.
At least we're consistent.
Well, okay, so
What am I looking at?
This is so weird. I wonder what the difference is for some people who say that it's absolutely no problem, and the others that are busting out their
I think
PC.
you're fiddling
Maybe
with
it's
audio
because
stuff.
we're both on Macs, and it can sense if you're watching
Like
on a
that.
PC. Wait, but anyway.
I just did that sound.
But shoot, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I once. This is kind of fun. I once at least started Jesse's class on, was it history of English or was it structures of English? But I thought it was her constructed languages class.
yes,
So I just busted in there,
David
assuming
was
everybody would
set
know
to-
me.
Oh, that was a day.
David was set to guest speak during one of my classes.
The
and
looks they were giving
It
me.
was a whole.
It was
a
so
whole
much fun.
The best part, though, was I was able to
the
connect
start of
it
class.
to
And
what we were
he
doing
went
that
into
day.
The class
Right
thinking
on.
that was the one he was supposed to be
That's
teaching.
how you know
Just
you're a
jumped
stellar
into lecture,
teacher.
And they were just silent and lost because it was totally the wrong one.
This is also back when, like,
But it was all good. It was good.
I'm much
Yeah.
larger than
But
you
man,
because your
the
window.
looks they were giving me,
Yeah.
it was priceless. It was like
You
I
said
had walked into a chemistry class. Just wonderful. Which I did once for a final.
This
I
is
showed
true.
up for my own final at Berkeley once, and I walk in, and the lecture hall is filled, and I see everybody pulling out calculators, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is English 135 AC. So I get to the front, and there's a GSI there, so I say, excuse me, is this the final for, quietly, is this the final for English 135 AC? And he says really loud, so the entire lecture hall can hear it, no, this is the final for chemistry 17B or something.
can
And
project.
everybody just starts laughing their ass off at me. It was amazing. Turns out I was 2 days early.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Better than 2 days. Better than 2 days.
I was gonna say, better than 2 days late.
Okay, so anyway, to give you a general introduction to this,
Yeah.
channel
Consistency.
or series or whatever, I have on my own YouTube channel. I started filming myself doing work on various
it was
projects.
it was like 9 in the
And it was a
morning
lot of
too,
fun,
so I had to wake
and
up for
at least
that.
some people have
And so
enjoyed
then
it.
I just
But
like
of course,
wandered around
the stuff I do for TV and
and-
film is all covered by an NDA.
and discovered that there was
so while I
like
can
nothing
record
to
it when
do
I'm doing
in Berkeley
it
at 9 in the
posts
morning
like
on a
6 months
weekday.
to a year later.
When
Like
the
there's a
semester
whole
was
series
almost over.
of
All the
Doom
shops
posts
were
that are
closed. I
gonna
thought,
go
well, I'll
once
go to
that
Amoeba and
airs,
check out some music.
this
There was
year.
nothing. They weren't open.
Like the end of the year. Anyway,
They were asleep in their
ages ago, my hair was
comfy
so much
beds.
better then. But anyway,
And you were jealous.
so I did
But I
do
was
one
pointing out same
live,
water
one
bottle.
series live, and
Oh,
that was
yeah.
really cool.
2 years
because
later.
I was creating a font
I have a
for
different
a
one.
friend's book. She had created the writing system. I was just creating the font. This is Juliet Wade with her new book,
Oh,
Bases
yeah.
of Power. And
She's,
so I just
got a
streamed the
full
whole
deal
process.
for
and it
the
was like
whole
5
series now.
videos.
I think she's finished her
where I
most
created
recent
the
one.
font from scratch live, and it was a lot of fun, and it was cool interacting with people. And so I thought that would be fun to do. I mean, it would be great to do for any of the movies or shows that I worked on. We did one, by the way. Jesse
is
and I did one,
almost
by
2
the way,
years
for
ago.
I
Motherland.
know. I made a
And that
comment for a
episode
Ling 101 class at the University
that'll
of
air on my
Arizona.
channel when that episode airs.
No, there was
which
a conlang
I think
class
was
at the
the last
University of
one.
Arizona.
That sounds right. Because
Yeah.
if I
It's not a
recall, we
common
actually
class.
recorded
It's
2
a
or
Lean
3, but
101
only
class.
one of them
We
worked.
Good point.
Because
Good
of the
point.
Catalina
That's
era,
reading
where it doesn't
comprehension
allow
right
audio
there.
provision. That was so embarrassing. An entire.
You're supposed to be watching
an
us, not
entire-
football.
Filmed an
Sorry,
entire
but, I
thing,
mean,
and there
that's
was no
game over.
audio.
It's-
The video recorded,
Doug
I
is
think,
going to smoke me.
but
Fine,
it was totally
Christmas ham.
silent. I suppose we could have just gone and done a voiceover, narrated it,
Voiceover.
but it's gone now. Anyway, so for this channel, I thought it'd be cool if two things. One, Jesse and I wanted to work together again because it was awesome, and I really loved working with Jesse. And two, I had a personal project where I need
You're
to
hoping to
create a
use
number
me
of
to leapfrog
languages.
onto a better partner.
And they
It still
are as
hasn't
NDA
happened
basically
yet.
as I want
I'm
to
waiting
make them
for the
because
call
it's
from
my
bid.
project. So
Any day, any
the
day.
project is this. I have been working on a board game for several years now, and this board game is going
Which,
to
by
feature
the way, I still
5
haven't
different
seen
species
the full.
of animals. talking
Like, I
animals.
saw more about the
And
board
we're gonna
game
create
in that one
languages
video you
for
made
the
for
five
our
species.
viewers
The way originally
than any
my
other
plan
time.
was,
I
I was going to
this
take
is how
some of
much
my
I just
old
leaped
languages
onto the
and revamp
project.
them
Like, sure.
and use them.
And so I
Specifically,
still
it's gonna
have
be
yet to
Waiter,
see
Gila,
the actual
Kamakawi, Sedan,
I mean,
and,
components that you've
Njama.
done,
But,
the gameplay,
two things. One,
stuff.
I mean, you
there
want to
were
try
a
it
couple
out?
things like with Kamakawi. I
Yeah, that
didn't
could be another special episode.
it's
That's
still
true.
it's not up to my current standards,
A
but I
first
love it so
run
much
through.
that I don't want to
I mean,
change it. I
you should
just kind of
probably
want to
get
leave
a
it the way
camera
it is.
other than a
So that was
computer
one.
that, you know, could...
And
That
two,
would help.
that
Yeah.
language was
We have
going
one
to be
attached to the
for
woodblocks
the
upstairs.
forest rabbits.
You're right, we do.
And the thing
Well,
is,
that's an improvement.
it's a very
We
it's a
should
very kind of like there's
specify.
tons of like ocean
attach
you
the
know,
wood blocks by the
vocabulary
computer
in
on the
there.
floating desk that is far too high where we
It's
normally
made for
sit.
people that are
Yeah.
on islands
That's why it's
and do a
attached
lot
to
of
wood
stuff in the
blocks.
ocean.
Otherwise, that
The
was just really
vocabulary just
weird.
didn't make a lot of sense for forest rabbits, and so I thought, well, why don't I do something new? And I thought, well, why don't we do that for at least 3 of the 5 other ones as well.
All
I am
5.
going to use a revamped Gila for the cats. It's going to be good this time. Oh my god, it's going to be Gila, but it's going to be good instead of
We still haven't
garbage.
gotten
Anyway,
cat
so
yet.
I still want to do that.
so this is
I bet cats are going to
this
be
is
next.
the language
Like,
that we're
that's
doing
my
now.
gut
Jesse and I are going to
feeling.
do it
Yeah.
together. It's going,
be shocked if
the
they
language that
weren't,
we're
but,
starting
like,
with is the language of
you know,
the forest
I want
rabbits.
vowel harmony.
So,
And I just
Nice.
learned that.
Yes.
In many cases.
so this is what I'm saying. Like the world building is partially done, but it's also
I have to
partially
practice drawing
up for
cats.
grabs if you have some good ideas for
dogs.
these
Because
magnificent
they will
forest
be
rabbits.
coming
So
eventually.
the
you
first
have a pretty
thing
good cat.
that I was going to say,
it comes
for
and
rabbits.
goes.
Oh, that would be so good.
Yeah, but like I made an emoji out of your cat.
Again, it comes
They
and
could
goes.
ski with their feet are big
And
enough
you
to
didn't see how
ski
many times I
on.
had to draw
Oh,
that
God, yeah.
cat
Have you
to
seen Frozen
get that
2?
cat to
You
look
haven't,
like
have
that
you?
cat.
I have not. I've only seen the first one.
Unbelievable. You clearly have a teenager and not a toddler. Anyway.
Yeah, he just surpassed
Oh, that
that
was
age.
In Frozen 2, there's a magnificent water horse, like a water ice
seen
horse.
Frozen 2
And
now.
Let me tell you, it's exciting.
I have
But
seen Frozen too.
if it
What'd you
was
think about that
instead,
water
like
horse,
a whole
Waternock?
tribe of water rabbits, that would
Yeah,
really
I did
change the
notice
tenor of that.
Now I know what you're
sequence.
talking about. It was really quite
What are
magnificent.
you thinking
Yeah.
about that? Now I'm just thinking about
And then
rabbits
she
kind of
kind of
ice
to make
skating
it
on
like
the
a
ocean.
hard frozen horse, you know?
This is really neat. Anyway,
It's pretty
I
cool.
can
It was-
picture it.
I saw
But
most
ice
of
skating
it.
on the ocean? So
I
you
was
saying
also
the
though
ocean
like
is frozen?
making breakfast.
No.
And
Obviously,
Are they
their
water
feet, their feet are magic and give off
doing
ice.
general
so
things,
it's
trying
like,
not to fall
like
asleep.
Iceman.
So it's like when-
Yeah, you
when
weren't.
Elsa
You
walks
clearly
on
weren't paying
Yeah,
enough
yeah,
attention to
turns
Lost
to
in
ice
the
around
Woods,
her.
which is
Okay,
like the
okay.
best
Okay, it's
thing.
just
to
I
Elsa.
happen
totally
to
see
Disney
that.
It's
movies.
just Elsa as a rabbit. That's all.
Okay, got it.
yeah.
Anyway.
Oh no, but
What?
what about the pirate rabbits?
Oh my goodness, heavy metal pirate rabbits. This is
I'm trying
really
to figure out
good.
what pen I have.
So
I'm
it's,
feeling that one.
By the
it's
way,
the-
if I
I
make-
obviously
so
was
it's the
taking
Isa
notes
Elsa
while we were
rabbits.
doing these early
Isa Elsa
episodes.
rabbits.
Taking
Elsa Ice
notes?
rabbits versus the
Yeah, I
pirate
was.
rabbits.
I can find my notebook if you want
There's
to
like a whole
see.
movie in there.
Change of plans. We're
Wow.
doing
See, look, taking notes.
We're not creating a
Unbelievable.
language. We're just
So-
doing a script right now. Opening final draft.
Here's a question.
Okay,
Here's a question. How
Anyway,
how
so
much
that's
did
kind of the plan.
your
So,
opinion of
to
me
give
as
you,
a
the
language
as
creator
minimal
change
background
over
as
the
possible,
course of
because
this?
I
Like,
do want you to be able to.
I
throw
imagine
in
you
have
kind of,
ideas for
at this
their
point,
forest rabbit
you
culture.
respected me.
But
now-
first of all, we're just going to totally bypass the whole
And
animal
now.
physiology.
And now.
It's just you know what? It's just made up. It's fun. They all have human vocal tracts. Maybe
Totally
we'll
taking
try
notes.
to deal with their little front
It's
tooth
so darling.
choppers, but I mean. Aside from that, let's just pretend that they've got human vocal tracts and speak human language. We're doing a real.
I was still coming into the partnership. Let's just say
these
that.
critters, there are no human
in
beings
terms of,
anywhere in the
I
world.
was
So,
very
bear that
nervous,
in mind.
and
then, so yeah,
Our-
these forest rabbits essentially.
we had only
the
worked
premise of this
together
game
on
is that something
Motherland before, which was a
gave
very different process.
Ordinary animals.
By the way,
the
when we
power
did the
of
test,
speech
the computer
and
was
to
closer, so I don't
allow
know if
them
we need
pick
to speak
things
up.
and whack them.
That's a good
Anyway,
point.
so.
And I got
not-
a little
not whack
louder
things,
there.
but to
We can
pick
always
up and
adjust
whack
the
with
volume
them.
as we go. Like, you know,
To whack
Like for
with.
building
it's
and
just
stuff?
sitting here.
Well, sure. Yeah,
Like,
they
we
have
can
buildings
just
too.
dip
Why
it
not?
down for a little bit if we
Okay,
wanted
of
to
course they will.
discuss
Anyway,
things.
these
I,
are
I,
forest,
I was just saying
and
that
it is their opinion that
having only
that,
worked on
nature is
Motherland
number
with
one
you, that was a
weapon
very
of
different
weapons.
process because
Needs
you
to
would
be
send
whacked
me
with
stuff.
sticks.
Or like I would have a thing I needed to do, and so I would
Oh
just
my
do
God.
it, and then we'd come back together. And so we never actually saw each other's years.
Oh, okay. No.
processes really, except
after
for
somebody gets whacked enough with
the
it,
times where we had to work on it live for the translations. And so like we would actually be together working on translations, but like the creation part,
I mean,
a lot of that was
maybe,
separate.
but,
Well, we did
I mean,
we
it's
did
also
we did have
something
sessions
else
over the
that
phone.
is what I thought you
Right,
meant.
but like most of those sessions were
no,
you
I was
telling
not.
me
But, okay, now it's up. No.
Ouch.
Well,
what
evidently I went.
what was going to happen, like how the tones and like how the protoforms became modern forms, so that way I could then do more of the vocab creation on my own and then come back
But,
together for it. And so a lot of what we did
super
on the
chat?
phone at the same time was translation. Unless you were going over my forms
There's
and
a
telling me how
question. Are there
I
gonna be
misformatted
5
the dictionary entries, and you know that happened.
Mm.
A lot of formatting issues on my end.
Oh,
Yeah.
that kind of hurts my teeth, like sensitive teeth.
So no, it was a very different process. This was like the first time we were doing all of it together from beginning
That
to
would be
end.
interesting, though.
And
Although I
yeah,
just
I
want
was
to keep
very
long enough that
nervous.
it would-
And so, yes, I was taking notes while you were talking about the rabbits and like trying to remember all the
We're
details.
gonna have to. We're gonna have to.
And
be
now
looking
I'm
at
like,
images of rabbits.
yeah,
we're
I
still
think
gonna
so,
be
yeah.
immediately
You didn't play with your hair
relevant.
once, as I recall. I haven't seen it
Just a
yet.
quick question though. I have super.
Well, right
chat
here I
is
can't
doing
really
right.
because the beats are holding it down, and if
is
I
where
try to play with it,
everybody
it's going to
can
get caught
message
up in the
questions
beats. It's
displayed.
very difficult to
Huh.
play with your
I
hair
think
while
that's
the
only enabled if
the
we
full
do
headphones are on.
monetization for the videos, which we're not doing. Anyway, I will look into it after this.
so.
But if you want to give
Oh,
us
yeah,
money,
super
we
chat.
have a Patreon
I did see
for this show.
He's- From episode 1 we were talking about implementing that.
You know we
Good Lord.
implemented it, right?
Yeah, I know, eventually.
That should be what
But
it
also
is.
we still haven't done the
So
memberships
you
and the
can go there.
stickers and things like that.
We'll
There are other
will
cool
having
things you
Super
can
Chat
do.
enabled make it more
Well, we
likely
can
that I'm
turn
gonna
this
look at
back
my
up if
phone
you
'cause I'm
want.
not-
I was just like trying to.
No, I'm talking about like on our
I'm trying to
YouTube
make a
channel.
little section of my
We-
I know, but I can't hear us
for the
now
new
Oh, okay.
comments.
Sorry.
And so I'm trying
just
to shout
didn't
out
know
I see
if-
something.
Because the
Theoretically,
test
I could
stream
put it
was
on
a
my
different.
screen if I put it at the place where
That's
my
okay.
window is.
You can
'cause
just
nobody
project!
can see behind my window.
And now someone's
could put it
eardrums just
there,
like
But then it
shot
would
out
just
of their
add more
head.
processing time that was going on. Anyway, so
Right.
And then W.
all right,
Watson
so for
comes from the
phonology,
past, says,
first,
"Can you turn it up?"
I have this this template that I use
you really think that's what W.
for
Watson sounds
creating
like?
languages.
No.
The template doesn't
All made up.
inform the
Turn that up,
process at all.
That's
it's
W. Watson.
just for documentation purposes. And it also does some fun stuff. Like,
Have you
for
seen the
example, if I
Cumberbatch,
click on
Sherlock?
this, pew, it goes all the way to there.
Yes, but not
and
all
that
of
goes
it.
to there,
Really?
and that goes back
I'm
to there.
watching as
Evidently, nothing
you
goes back
jump
to the
around.
beginning. But
Remember,
anyway,
this was before though. You had the
so
shortcut to get to the
what
sound
this
changes.
is, it's just a Pages document.
We have a shortcut.
Pages is the version of Word that's on the Mac. And
You
it's
implemented,
great
yes,
if
where you
you're
click on
working
the
with somebody else who
vowels.
uses a Mac. You can
You click on
collaborate,
the
and it
vowels,
works
and it
essentially
takes you
like
down to
Google
the-
Docs,
How
only it
about
doesn't
that,
have
really?
a million problems loading
Let me-
pages that are
let me
longer
pull
than 50.
open.
Oh my goodness.
Loading documents
document.
that are more than 50 pages.
I don't know
Anyway.
if you did it on all of
So,
them, so let's find out.
In
if
this
you did.
document, I filled out sections that then we will edit. So, like, this is going to be our chart here.
Holy
and I
smoke.
just filled in a
And
whole
if
bunch
you
of
go
stuff
here,
so
it'll
that
go
we
back
can
to-
delete.
Holy
rather than add.
smoke! Really?
And do you know
Same
why you did
goes
that?
here.
Why?
And
Because
incidentally,
I was
this
like,
document
David, there needs to be a
is
shortcut, or we need
based
to
on
have
the
sound
document
changes
that's
right
been
by the
evolving
IPA
for me,
chart.
like,
This is silly
over
because we're just back and
the-
forth, back and forth
Good
from
Lord,
one end of the
decades
document to the
since
other,
I've been
and so then
creating
you put it in.
languages For literal
Wow.
decades. My God.
It makes you feel a little older
Because
cool.
when you
because I
actually
got
have
over
these.
I've
my
been creating
immense
languages
respect
longer
for
than I
you
have.
and started telling you what I really
wild.
thought.
Wow.
That just happened.
And I was like, this is stupid.
Wow. That's cool.
Ugh. Anyway, so I intended
Is that
this
your
document to be
student? Does
forward
this
facing
count as
so that if I
studying
could-
for our
If I
midterm?
printed it out at any point in time, it would just
That is
look
indeed
like
my
a reference
student.
grammar because
Oh, you
that's
probably
what
know who
I
that
write.
is.
Yeah.
That's
Probably met
it
that
helps
person in
me
person.
process. So
That
like
student?
all of
Yeah,
these
this
things
was
were
before the
written for somebody
pandemic.
just in
Wow.
case
All
they
my
didn't know
students
what
were
the
in
IPA
person.
Oh
was.
my goodness.
So yeah, I knew all of
Since
them.
I did descriptions
Jeez.
for a lot of IPA characters already, I just posted them all in there.
Like a month
and we
before
can
the
delete
pandemic.
ones that we don't
Like
need.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
moving on, there's a
Because
section
this
describing
is
how
February
organization
27th,
works.
and
This
as
I
of
actually
spring
do send
break,
the
we knew we
actors.
weren't
So
coming
I
back
send,
for the
when I'm
semester.
working on a show,
And that
I
was like
cut
March
this part
15th.
out,
That's
and
right.
I send
goodness. Ooh, I
the
like
whole
that,
thing
dude.
to the actors.
I
And
have
it
to
does a
highlight
pretty good
something
job
again.
when they
That's a
look at it.
good color. I
Gives them
changed
an
it.
idea about
Oh.
aspiration.
Wow.
If it's going to be aspirated.
That's exciting.
I think I was pretty successful with
word.
the
You're welcome,
Ufleur.
I made the template available.
this is my personal preference. I don't want to do ejectives for this one.
For rabbits, no.
No.
That doesn't seem right.
Thank God.
The
God.
mice.
As a
Ejectives all over
side
the
note,
place.
I really hope that somebody who just made this comment is one of my students.
Mhm.
Sure, you can count this as studying for your midterm. You do need to know the IPA.
Nice.
You also, of course, still need to
If you're not
actually
my
do it
student,
and then do it well. So it's like, it's not like you're getting graded on studying.
So I had to make the guess
somebody's
that
asked
that was
about
my
making the
student
template
because
available.
the first
So
name
this
was a
thing
name
is
I was
for
familiar with,
pages,
but their
so
username
it's
is
gonna be
different than their
useless if
actual
you don't
name,
have
right?
pages.
And so
If you
it
do
was
have
like,
pages,
I'm
like,
pretty sure
sure,
this
I
is
can
them.
send it to you.
but I didn't know, and
If you
so.
want. The nice thing is it
I-
has the bookmarks embedded. One
That's
of the
why I
reasons
said,
I do
if
this,
you are
by
my
the way,
student,
and I
but then
removed the
I
fonts.
verified in
Eventually,
class
this is
that
gonna
that
be
was
where
indeed.
fonts go.
And see,
But,
I am, LOL.
But yeah, at some point in time, I'm going to have to figure out how we're going to do this. If I'm going to be creating, because I'm going to be creating.
Can you imagine like reading that in the
I'm gonna do that on the
1980s
channel,
and people
then
were
you're
like,
probably
I
gonna
am
be
lol.
learning
Who's
the language.
lol?
I wonder if there's a way to do a split screen. What's the way to
Just a
get
second.
that?
I'm still trying to see what pen
Ooh,
I'm
that would be
holding.
fun.
Wouldn't that be?
Hold
That'd
it
be
up higher. It's a pen.
And it was
pen.
my student.
all right.
Oh,
Nice.
you're just
I'm so
Hello.
excited.
you're just
I'm so
taunting
excited.
yourself.
By
It is
the way,
pink.
I added in double brackets things that we can replace.
Like, is it a clicky?
So these are just
Okay.
instructions to
Is
us.
it a
Oh, it's-
decapper?
No, it's a
This
clicky.
is
It's a
a
clicky.
useful
Definitely
section
clicky.
that we should fill out and refer to periodically.
is
That
that?
just it's
I'm making
the
an
basic
interesting
remember
thinking
this
face.
stuff
It's a
in case
smirk.
you forget the parts.
That's the emoji. The smirking
Noun
emoji.
stuff, adjective stuff. If we have adjectives, demonstrative stuff, verb stuff.
Look at that.
adverbs,
I am
coordination.
the emoji.
If it needs explaining, relative clauses.
So give us an update on you at this point. You feeling pretty good at this point? Feeling all right?
Questions.
I
These are the
am
historical notes. These are a lot of
still
sound changes I've used
overwhelmed.
in
Like, at this point, it's
languages
like, okay,
over
David's just
the
talking.
years. So I just tossed them in
do I
there
still
so that
have
they
that
would be
pen?
written
I need
out
to
in
know.
case they would be useful for this language.
But at this
not
point, I'm
really
also
from
still
a
overwhelmed
private.
with trying to figure out
This
how
is the
to
reference grammar.
look
and
at
this is the part
comments,
where you just go
how to
the
make sure I'm not
tables.
pulling
Doesn't have any
faces while you're doing a lot of
explanation
talking.
So pronouns.
And I'm not
nouns,
doing very good because I got
this is,
faces pulled all over the
This
place.
is from the Christmas
But
Chronicles.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what
This
to
is
do because
the
I've never
case
done
system for the
anything like
Christmas
live stream
Chronicles.
before.
I thought it
Oh,
was
nice.
cute.
Oh, up on the
Oh yeah, that is the
Wordita
Christmas
and
Chronicles.
Wordima?
That's
Yeah, but replace it with like I don't know.
with
Eulig.
an actual.
Yeah, eulig is a word. Euliga, euligina, euligiva, euligima.
gonna
be especially since adjectives
Do you remember
agree.
the episode I did where I did things in your
I think
languages? I
overestimated
translated
how
and you had to
often
guess
it
what
would be
language it
definite.
was?
Yeah.
End up with
I totally
Dina,
used
Dina,
Eulish as one of them.
and a ro-
But it was. I think it sounded really cute. Just my. I did see that one too. That was a really.
See, I saw that one.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah.
some
I'll
of those
get there.
voice
I
actors
know it's
really
on
got
Netflix.
it. Some
I'll
did.
get
Yeah.
there.
What you do?
You know what?
And that's like over a year old. by
You
now.
hadn't seen it yet.
I know.
Christmas Chronicles.
I was going to watch it this
That's
one
right.
day,
I
but
hadn't
then my
watched the
sister
Christmas Chronicles
was
yet.
really into JoJo's Amazing Adventure. And
Have
so
you
I
not
thought I'd
yet?
put her on the first episode.
I'm gonna get
And
there.
instead, and oh my god,
I'm adding
hated
that
it
to our
so
watch list.
much. I hated it.
When I
so,
have
so
Christmas
much.
Chronicles 2 as well.
Yes.
Amazing Adventure. Are you a fan of this?
I also still haven't seen the
No,
last two
I'm
episodes of
laughing
Emerald
because
City.
You should have watched Christmas Chronicles.
I should have. I obviously should have.
I was
Oh
so
my God.
sad because I
It was
had a
there was
feeling that it was going to
after
be the
finishing
end,
that episode, I
and
was like,
so
there is
by the time I
nothing
watched
that's
that
going to
last
possess
one,
me to watch the second
and I was
episode
right,
of this ever.
and they left us on a
Ugh.
cliffhanger, and I'm still sad
Anyway,
about that.
nominal derivation if we have
Like
it.
compared to
needed.
that Twin Peaks cliffhanger, though, huh?
This is what is this?
That's
This
why I
is from
still
Beta,
refuse to
one of
believe
the
it's the
languages
last
I did for
episode, and
Romeo
why I still
Valor,
keep
and
thinking
very,
we have
very
another
simple
episode,
verbs.
and
These things can get
Yeah,
complicated.
You keep saying we
Verbal
don't.
derivation,
You are in for a big shock once we
adjectival
watch the movie
derivation
and then move
if
on to
we-
season
if we
3.
use it. I'm sorry, inflection.
You didn't
if
have to
we
wait
use it.
25 years.
This
though.
will also be where agreement's going to happen if we use it.
okay.
Derivation for
But yeah,
adjectives, our number
at this point, I'm like,
system,
okay, cool, we're still walking
and
through.
then,
How many minutes are we in? Are we like 30 some minutes in, and we're still?
Yep.
Yep, 23.
23.
Something to,
But I mean, you're
so, like,
talking
our
about
dictionary entries, this is
language
where the
stuff, I guess.
orthography is
Here,
gonna
actually,
go.
let's scroll
This is,
down a little bit
how you
because
type
I
it in case
believe.
it's not obvious. I don't always do that, but sometimes I do.
Look at
Where
this.
do we
This is it
actually
in the
start?
romanization. This
Oh,
is the IPA.
29.
This is
29
its,
minutes in.
protoform.
All right.
Part of speech.
So
This I'll
things
get to
get
in a
real.
second. This is the definition.
6
and
minutes.
This is the definition.
Interesting.
Needs more explanation.
All right.
So this
What
is
should we do for
something
6
I'm
minutes?
rather
Here,
proud
I
of.
want to
So
see
I
actually what
started
happens if we
this
do.
system way back
Not
when with the
AirPlay,
language I created
not
called
theater
Pajama.
mode.
You can do
It
this
was
while we're
very
trying
complicated.
to.
Yeah, I want to see what happens to beautiful screen.
Every
Ooh,
single
but then you
entry
can't
had
But then you
a-
can't see
a
the
number
comments.
between
Yeah, I
1
was
and
afraid of that.
9 that told you whether if it was a normal
Now, what is
word,
theater
a technical
mode?
word, an
I don't
artistic
think we want
word,
to find
an
out while you're
off-color word,
trying
and so
to
on and so
watch.
forth. I simplified the system
I
greatly.
want to see what
So
happens.
that
Not much has changed with
basically
working
it's
with
just
you.
a number, either 000111011. And 0 means basic.
Don't worry.
So basic word commonly used
still-
and also
Oh boy.
not likely.
Okay, that was clearly a mistake.
Basic word
Right?
commonly used and also
Okay.
not likely to cause offense or cause somebody to giggle. And then 1
Okay, so I
is
won't press
like
theater mode, I
it
promise.
is non-common and
Anyway.
it's
Not
either
for like 20
offensive
minutes.
or it might cause somebody
Anyway.
to giggle. So
Closed captioning.
you know, for example, like feces,
See
that's
how-
as basic as it goes if you want to talk about it. But it's like you have to know, like if you're learning as a non-English speaker, that if you say poo-poo, somebody's gonna laugh at you.
Yes.
You know?
I love that. That's your first example out of all the words. You go for feces.
I also
and
like that they
poo-poo.
I don't know. It's like
spell it
Welcome.
P-U-H.
I mean, yeah, like no, but think about it. Sometimes as an adult, it is more
didn't
embarrassing
do me.
to
Yeah, it
say
didn't.
like a word that only a little kid would say, as opposed to saying a curse word. You know?
That's true.
Like-
That's true. Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever? I was trying to remember. There was one.
They
instance
totally
where
don't
it's like,
caption
I had
me
a
on
professor,
this
he
at
was-
all.
You're
he
not
was
loud
fantastic.
enough.
He was a
Probably
non-English speaker,
now
and
they
he was
do.
giving a lecture, and it was just
Wow.
one word that he was using.
What
in
am
a
I
very
looking
serious
at?
lecture that was just not the regular.
What would have
word,
been up in that
and it was just
direction?
slightly funny. And I was like,
Because my
oh.
clock would be on the other side,
How
so
do
it's
I?
not like
How
I'm
do I
looking at a
how do I
clock.
tell him about this? And of course you can't. But anyway. And then this asterisk here is just if we find the word interesting and want to come back to it later, so we don't have to search the whole list of words. Okay.
I'm very curious.
Okay, doke. So
Is there
that's
a bug
that,
flying
and then
around?
this is where this is where we keep track of the number of words. I have 2 charts in here depending on the type of language we end up
chimes?
doing.
Yeah.
One
Oh.
is if we have a language where there is like
We haven't used
stems are more
stems
common
yet.
or roots are more common, and then they commonly have
We need to do that for the
affixes or
dog
processes associated with them to make
It
words.
seems
so
okay.
that
I would
the
just say
stem
at present it
itself is
seems
never
less
used.
likely because it's
So, like,
likely to be in analytical.
For a language that has
Oh,
that uses
so now-
noun
Based on what we've
classes
heard in the
heavily,
past.
this is
However,
where you do that because
if we do
like,
do
if there's
noun
like
classes
7 noun
for
classes
the
and
cats,
they begin
which
with
is
7
what I was hoping
consonants,
for.
then if you just
Might
do
be
how
good.
many words start with that letter, you know, it's like
Sorry.
you're going to get a million in 7
I had a
consonants
Chandler
and
Bing
then none
moment.
anywhere else.
Because
What's
she
more
went
important is what the
from
root starts
feces
with,
and poo-poo
then
to
it's how
doo-doo.
many words are used within that.
If we
Versus if that doesn't matter for something like, you know, Triga slang, High Valerian, then it's just that.
There's a moment in
But
Friends where
these
he's
little
like trying
guys
to do a
link.
job interview and
So you can just
and
jump.
and
And when you turn this into a
gets
PDF,
used in
the
a
links
sentence
stay.
with the 2
So I can
auxiliaries.
send this
kind
to
of
other
uses.
people as a PDF, and they can navigate.
it was something
very
like what
easily.
you
Okay,
do
so this is
do,
where all the languages,
and
or
he-
sorry, all the
he,
words
like,
are going to go.
internally starts giggling
With the
and
long
it's a whole
definitions, and
thing.
then your simple like.
So
you know,
anyway,
pocket
I was having one of those
dictionary version going
moments.
from
But
English
yes,
to
noun
whatever
classes for
languages
cats. See, I
is over
thought
here,
maybe
and these
the cat
links
language
work
didn't have the space
as
for it
well.
because you already had all these ideas about how that may be.
So yeah.
And so I suggested
Anyway.
dog simply because that's our
So
last
We have a lot of
2
work
official
to do.
ones.
yeah,
for
we
this.
do.
Well, I mean, it's based on my
We're already
original
half an
idea
hour
for
behind. This
Gila,
language
which
needs
is a
to be
language
done
that had
in
vowel
3
harmony,
minutes.
noun classes,
Done.
57 cases.
Actually.
But it is cool to see how
Excellent,
many people
excellent.
from around the world we
Ouch.
have. We have
It was a
people
mistake.
from
Okay,
Iceland and
Don't worry.
at least you know it's
Brazil
a mistake.
and
It was poorly
Europe and
executed.
all
It's
over
not a
the
good
US.
language, but you know.
So,
Welcome,
okay,
everybody.
but to go back,
Okay.
just
so,
to walk
and
that
then
back just a
I
quick
haven't
sec.
been looking at chat
Um,
like ever. So
cat language can totally have
Still
noun
like
classes.
this?
Yay!
can
And
you
dog
scroll
language.
back? Is that
Yeah, yeah.
possible?
Not so much.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, I can.
Matisse!
Whoa.
But yeah, they.
Is that his first
and
comment
people
ever?
said where they're from. Lots of conlangers.
I don't know.
Awesome.
We'd have to
Oh,
scroll up in the chat.
I did
replay.
scroll up a little bit. So yeah, just to confirm, the PDF does work. The links are preserved in the PDF. Now,
It's
I
just you
could
can't
make them
type
more
them.
obvious because when you make a link on this, it turns it blue and underlines it. But I just think that looks sloppy. And plus, then if you print it out, you have something that's like blue and underlined. So you have to
Then
know
you
the
have
links
people
are
trying
there.
to press the
but
links
they
with their fingers
absolutely
in the book.
100% work.
Why isn't it
Which
working?
makes this so awesome.
That is
Anyway, so
exactly
yeah,
how
I
it
can
works.
definitely send out the PDF, but then like you couldn't copy it.
I forgot to
right?
make popcorn.
So I don't know how
Right.
useful.
Like the
it would
links
be.
But there's
would
still time.
actually help you create your
But
own
then it'll be
document.
loud
But you know,
and
whatever,
it'll take
I'll
over
put
the
it up.
whole.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
This, by the way, is a copy
They
of
may not
the
be.
template.
No, they'll be fine with it.
I'll-
Trust me. After another like 20 minutes of this, they'll
we should
be fine
mention
with
this.
it.
For
They'll be
people
looking for a
that
distraction.
support us on Patreon at a certain level, we're going to be sending out a PDF of the
Still
language as
waiting.
it stands.
A lot of people
every month,
want
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
us to make popcorn.
So
Just gonna
you'll
say
get
that.
you'll get incremental progress. All right. So
And by a lot of
now
people,
that
you.
that is done, feel
And
free
by
to
us
ask
make popcorn, me.
questions, But we're gonna go right here. So bear in mind that since we know how these guys came to be, we know the origin of language for all of them.
Right.
Language originated in different
Mateus
times.
was already a
with
patron
different
at this
species,
point.
and it'd just be how
Whoa.
they decided to do
Wait.
it. So we can
I
go
already
all the way
Patreoned
back
it,
to the
so
beginning.
that's good.
And
Is that for us or
assuming that
for-
this is a time
No.
that I don't know. Many
I mean,
generations
Mateus has
have
been a
gone by.
patron
so
since-
we can have a nice series of protoforms both for our
Forever.
grammar and for our
But did we had a Patreon
sounds.
at this point,
get
right?
something.
I don't
nice.
remember.
We must have
We
because it's
must
in our
have.
end screen.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Got my book open. So
As do I.
you just tell me what to type and I'll type it.
So that's how this is going to work.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, exactly.
All right.
I had no
Wonderful.
idea what to
So
expect.
when you said here, what page are you on? Because I don't see you scrolling in the document. So
Of
tell
course,
me what
because
page
you're
on.
behind. Do we see each other's cursors on this thing?
I do, but only as a little yellow. There, I see you now.
Yeah.
And yeah, only if you click on the page.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I am definitely at the.
This is
the
before we knew
IPA
we could
section.
jump to each other's
And,
locations.
so-
in the
Yeah.
Oh, that's
document.
I see
right.
my
That was an
little
exciting
cursor.
episode.
Yes.
We
So,
figured that out.
I guess my original idea. So originally when I was going to have this language be Kamakawi, my idea was that.
This is my face of.
Yeah, this would be. I
Oh
guess,
yeah, I forgot to look that language up
a little
online.
towards the isolating and a little
Didn't you
towards the
already know
initial,
about
a little
it?
towards
No.
the.
Don't you already know?
less
Didn't you
content
already know
clustered
all
in.
of my
That's what I was
work?
thinking for this
No.
one. But
My great
know.
works?
I knew Meg
talking
Debbie.
rabbits. Bucky
Nobody
O'Hare,
cares
what do you
about
got?
that. Not
You
even me.
talk about it an awful lot for
Oh,
someone
dear.
who doesn't want everyone to care about it.
I talk
I
about
often
how
forget
bad
that
it
you're younger than
is.
me.
Yes, and that's why I knew it. It's like the only
Those poor months.
outside of the
Yeah.
the ones I knew from shows.
Kamakawi was like the only language I did that was
But
any
no,
good.
I mean, no, honestly.
Before-
if
And you
were
mentioned
right there
that
for the first
when
4
we were
months
in
of
planning
1981,
stages
this
for this,
would
but like I just
completely
never
go
got
over
around
your
to
head.
actually
I mean,
looking at it
Gone.
beforehand.
Just
Gone.
I'm starting to think
Bucky
that you
O'Hare,
don't
remember Bucky
actually
O'Hare in the Toad Wars. Okay,
care about
so
me.
it was a cartoon.
Sorry, how
and
many
it
of
was
my
a
languages
video
did you
game. It
look
was an
up
arcade
before?
game.
All
It made
of
it came to
them.
Nintendo.
Liar.
And it might have started as comic book, but Bucky O'Hare was a
Wait, before what? Before
space
what?
rat that
Before-
led his
Before this
space,
episode, just the other
renegades
day,
against the
you
Toad
were
Empire.
in the languages
had a
folder, and you
friend
were
that
like,
was a
"What
duck
language is
that had
this?" And I'm like, "That's
arms.
mine." And you were like, "What?"
I never remember the
And then
names.
it was like,
but no, I looked up all your languages when you
female
applied
dog
for
had a pink
Motherland.
hair. Am I remembering this right? Anyway, so yeah,
I have no idea.
Bucky O'Hare was a very serious rabbit.
And that was, of
He
course,
wasn't
a
like
bit of refresher because I'd looked them
wisecracking
up
Han
before.
Solo type. He
You
was
couldn't
like,
have.
let's get
What?
down to
I
business.
How?
Batman type
When the
of fun-loving rabbit.
remember why,
space
but it was
rabbit.
like it was familiar because of the
Of course.
because
Yeah.
of the
Of
relay.
course.
But yeah,
Um,
like phonologically, what were you
That
thinking? What were
that
you
was the
feeling?
only the relay, that little bit
Well,
is the only
Where I
bit
tend to
of my
start are
conlang
with
text
some
that had ever been
typological
online
things
before
like
we
the-
worked together.
Yeah, and you think I didn't look at it?
series
That
showing
one
up.
little thing. You
Okay,
realize
if
I
we
knew a
do
lot
wanna
about
play around with
Dothraki,
the idea
right?
Of their front teeth potentially.
Before
As
this,
the only part of the anatomy
I knew a
we're
lot about your
necessarily
other
gonna be
languages that were
concerned with,
published.
because again, the rest
I
were
had
just
read
gonna
articles
see
you had
this
written. I had read your
Um,
book.
It's all right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Thank
Fair
you.
radio dental stop
Fair enough,
instead
fair
of a
Just
radio
because I
stop.
didn't look up Kamakawi,
I mean,
other than
so-
I was very familiar
Right.
with your website because you
But
and I both know that we
here's-
have
here's the
differences
question.
in color
Evidently
schemes.
not. Do you even recognize
It's
this?
not
Yes,
probably gonna
and in fact, I made an
contrast
entire class
with
icon
the
based on that with your
bilabial
permission, of
stuff.
course.
And which language?
Oh no, no.
Kamakawi.
radio stops.
So phonologically, it's going to be.
But like, I don't know all the language features. I know the top 10 your proudest symbols you made for that language.
I'm not saying that, but
and I also like I
I'm
referenced
still-
just recently
well, for
because somebody was
us humans,
asking
we're probably
about
just gonna
all the
pronounce it as
possession
a
we're
B,
doing
though
in the
I
mouse
suppose if you
language.
wanna pronounce
It's
it like a
originally
rabbit,
inspired by Common Cow.
then you do the
Like
That's
a
lovely,
rabbit.
but I couldn't tell you
rabbit.
all the language
Hold on a
features
sec.
from all your
I'm gonna have to-
languages because there's a lot.
I'm gonna
I
have to
can't
pull
even
up-
keep features of the languages we're working
We're
on right now
adding
straight
to
without
the chart.
rereading the
Hold on,
documents.
I'm going to pull up a rabbit.
Oh my God.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to
Okay.
pull up a
Damn it,
rabbit.
that
I
may
want
have been your
to take a
first
look
time.
at a rabbit
How,
face.
Where you put your tongue between your teeth.
that's a good idea.
Oh, okay.
That's sweet. See, okay, they're saying no bilabials.
Okay.
So,
I can appreciate
Anyway,
that.
all that is to say,
But I'm going to
I
tell
had
you.
not refreshed
looking at a
my
bunny
mind
face
on
right
all the
now,
Kamikawa
and
features.
their
Oh,
lips
yeah,
are
their
pretty
teeth don't
versus-
close.
out, do they?
The New Zeiler features
I mean, I
versus
think
all the
in,
others.
in cartoons
Schuyler?
they do.
Zeiler, yeah, not New Zeiler.
Right.
Shiloh.
But
Zeiler, oh shit.
look at
no.
that little darling.
I mean,
Zeiler.
their
like
lips are
it's
pretty
an
closed.
E, right? And if you're
I
going to do that
apparently had
Englishly,
forgotten
you just
what
do
the front
E,
of a
right?
rabbit looked like until just now because I really
Okay,
thought I would
but
see little teeth there.
Anyway,
I think
in my
I'm
head, I
thinking
always
squirrels,
said
which
Zeiler,
is
so
even
I
more
forget
Mm.
because
So I on Reddit,
I just
Yeah.
most of what
always
I
said
do
it
is
wrong in
just
my head.
I'm
It's like
subscribed to feeds
your
of cute
whisper
things.
language. What's that?
And so
Right?
I'm a part of,
Is that how it's
of our
pronounced?
rabbits.
What's that?
So I am looking at
that
pictures
sounds
of
about like
rabbits
how you
every
say it
single day.
sometimes because you can't
Because
remember
there
how it's
are,
actually pronounced, and
and
so
many,
you're like, how is
many
it spelled again?
subreddits of cats.
Anyway,
So it's just cats and rabbits all day.
anyway,
Yeah.
There's,
skip it.
let me see. Can you see this picture?
Oh.
Oh my goodness. Look at that
I
little
put that on
gentleman.
Instagram.
I
He's
love
like
it.
playing in the leaves. Okay, so that is now my inspiration for our language is that little rabbit right there. playing in the
Excellent.
leaves.
Nice.
Excellent.
This was
You know,
before I started
My
drawing.
friend, my best friend
That's
allowed me
right.
to name his
Yeah.
rabbit. when
You
we
remember
were
your,
very young.
your
He didn't
first
have
ones
the
look very
rabbit for
different
long.
before you like had hit on
Probably
a
didn't take
style.
the best care
you know?
of the rabbit.
It's
all-
really
all through
cool
until- but, you know, we're
going
kids,
back
what can we do?
through and
But
looking
the
at
rabbit's
looking
name
at them
was
all,
Frumfur.
seeing the evolution.
It's
Frumfer?
Yes, from fur.
Oh, Blaine's
I thought
old
maybe I
rabbit.
misheard you or you just sneezed.
Nope.
Frumfer. Okay.
From fur. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh, good. People are doing a great job
hair is so
answering some
terrible.
questions because yeah, bilabials would require both your lips to come together, like the p and b sounds.
Tasted a rabbit.
And
as a
so
kid.
the whole
Wow.
question was whether their little front teeth would get in the way, and
Mhm.
appearing on the images, they would not. So we can go back to PTK.
Yes, and by the way, yes, you are correct. Dentolabial
everything I just
is
said.
bottom teeth to upper lips. And there's always some noise about there being like one language that has dentolabials somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know where
Huh.
And then
that is,
Fred.
but
Okay.
okay.
You want to give
so,
it a try?
question then.
yes.
Do we want
Funny.
balance system or do we want to make it
Funny.
an imbalanced system?
Very.
With some of the more basic sounds.
Well, we can start with a balance system and then
Vibrant.
evolve it into something unbalanced.
It's always fun.
So I guess here's the question. An easy way to think about starting is when we start at the early stage.
This is also
what,
before you rearranged your
places
office.
of articulation
Yeah.
do we want and what manners? So like, do we want distinctions amongst stops at the very
Interesting.
beginning, and if so, what?
So now I'm like in my
We
head
ruled out
imagining the
ejectives
configuration of
because
the
it
office,
didn't-
like where
it
the
doesn't
desk
seem rabbitish.
was versus
And-
where it ended up.
Yeah.
In my own languages,
I liked it this
make
way
a little
because,
addition
like,
here. I tend to not go
felt
for
like I had a
uvular
little nest.
simply because
I
I
could
struggle
see,
with
yeah.
them.
Well, in this case, I have to tell you, I'm not feeling uvular for rabbits anyway, so we're just going to get rid of that altogether.
Okay.
Okay.
So no more uvular sounds.
Uvular column
For
is
rabbit
gone.
should
We've
be
almost got the entire word
flower.
fricatives.
Flower.
So I'm so glad. I wonder if we can eliminate another column.
I actually think we could. We could totally, especially for the older form,
Okay, I think I know what pen that is.
palatal, because you could always get, if we want palatal things to happen, we could do a combination with a high vowel.
They may
high
not
front vowel.
know
following
my
the prompting to get a
obsession
palatable
with
sound.
pens, pencils,
Okay,
markers,
so,
and paper.
But if we want
they
palatals, ultimately,
may not
I'm gonna leave
understand
the
why
column because one thing that's
all
not
of our
represented
viewers why
here
I'm really obsessed
is
with
that
figuring out what pen
I
this
have
is.
markings for if something
I've
was only
got
present in the older
maybe a
language or
stationary
different present
problem.
Okay.
I like
So,
to collect different
yeah,
kinds of
so
pens and
let's keep it.
pencils
So
and
here's
markers.
the big question.
And
So
I have
we've
very
already
specific
talked
uses for
about
them.
rabbit,
And
you know,
lots of notebooks.
muzzles.
To the point where David
Dental
actually
sounds.
suggested that I separate
Yay
out
or
my
nay?
notebooks
In
from the
particular,
books on the bookshelves.
interdental sounds.
And I have a
Possible
whole
or
bookshelf
not?
for
Advisable
notebooks.
or not?
But like that's the level of obsession.
Seeing as how they tend to be overused.
And a lot of them are full. It's not even that
Oh,
they're
they're
empty.
definitely
It's just,
A lot of
you know.
fondling.
Yeah. Oh,
have
but
a lot
oh
of
my gosh!
notebooks.
Did you see the phonology of the day? Are you familiar with his Twitter account?
Oh, no.
Random phonology of the day.
That thing
So
hasn't kept
it's
up.
it's a
That was
variant
cool.
of Turkish. I don't remember which one.
There's no way
and the
that
phonology
anyone
looks
could keep
exactly
up with
like
anything
Turkish,
of the
except for
day.
two
Of
crazy
the week,
things.
of the month,
Number one,
sure, but of the day,
the
no.
long. You know, Turkish has a long vowels, or this one has long
We have
vowels.
a lot of different commenters.
Yeah, this one has a full
You know,
series
it's
of long
exciting
vowels.
to
It
see
has
the
the same
names
eight
we
vowels as
know,
Turkish.
and
But it's long
have
eh
come to
vowel.
be very familiar with. But some of them, I'm like, did they change their
So it has
usernames, or are
short
these like
eh,
just totally
long
different
ah.
people?
That's one.
Interesting.
And number two, they took the native S and Z of Turkish and have moved them to theta and eth. And that's it.
Oh, that's interesting.
There's
That's
no
interesting.
S or Z anywhere.
Oh, that is cool.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, totally. I mean,
It's like a
doable, sure.
conlinger's
I feel a little
dream.
uncomfortable with.
Oh yeah. No. Well, okay. So here is the question: why? I mean, obviously, the question was, are rabbit teeth such that the
I would also like
interdentals
to
would
point
be
out
more
that
common?
this felt like
or
it
would,
took
in
forever
fact,
to get a
they be less
phonology
common, in
for
which
this
case they should
language,
definitely not be
and now
there.
I think it's the fastest
For,
phonology we've
dental
managed to
stops,
do
I
out
think we
of
should
all the
probably do dental
seasons.
stops. In that.
But like in the moment,
not
it felt
interdental
like,
stops,
how are
but
we
that they're-
moving
they're coming
into
against the
episode
back of the
4
teeth.
and not finish with
But
this?
for interdental
And now it's
sounds.
like, okay, if we're done by
Let's see.
episode
So
8,
one
we're doing
moment,
good.
I'm looking up pictures of rabbits with open mouths.
Oh, good.
Oh, dang.
My old
Their
phone,
bottom teeth are
as
big,
in,
too.
Really?
just got rid of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Got
it's still
little
sitting there.
choppers,
I
huh?
still need to actually do something with
They
it.
really do. Okay. Oh, I think I just
Are you
killed
supposed
my,
to send it back?
my search screen. I was going to
Like,
show
were you
you
trading
a
it in?
picture, but are you seeing the top and
Well, you
bottom
can do whatever you want with it.
chompers they got going?
Sorry, I got a grip in my
I got a couple
foot
people
and
saying
I hit the
nay on
table.
interdentals. I'm
That's all right.
willing to agree with that. So rabbit, open.
No, I'll figure out what's
Here's the picture.
look at
Oh
that!
my goodness.
Top and
Oh
bottom.
my gosh, he's so angry. I love him.
That's because rabbit teeth don't stop
Oh,
growing.
you so have to see Elf.
Oh, do they,
That was such an
Are they
Elf.
like beavers where they gotta keep
intonation.
gnawing?
I'll
to keep
eventually
them
see it.
shorter?
I'm not against it.
Yeah, I think that must be what it is because I know rats have to do that too. They have to gnaw, otherwise they grow too long.
Okay, so
Do you know
yeah,
how I knew
interdentals
that?
are definitely out then.
From Gregor the Overlander
Oh,
books.
However,
Written by
this does
Suzanne
bring
Collins.
back the
Oh, okay.
bidental fricatives.
The box set that's right there on the top shelf.
Yeah.
Get those
And
teeth coming
she
close
wrote Hunger
together.
Games.
Oh
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
Well,
but
then-
like this
then I think
was
this is what we should
her
do.
what I think is the
We're
better
going
series that
to,
she wrote.
Get rid of this.
Not saying
column,
anything bad
and we're
about
gonna
Hunger
call
Games, but
this
like when you read Gregor,
coronal,
you'll be like, oh yeah,
where
no, that's where
these
it's at.
guys are
When?
probably
Very
going to
good.
be coronal if they
Okay.
exist,
When,
and these
yes.
guys are going to be dental.
But it's actually
we've got our
it's actually intended for
places
much
of
younger readers,
articulation,
because like
unless
Will
they're
read
going
them
to be doing
in like
epiglottal
4th grade.
screams.
And so anyway,
Somebody mentioned that
there's
rabbits
a
may
rat.
scream.
Like there are rats as characters, and this one rat
and
in
so
particular
I
didn't have something to gnaw on for a
somebody
while,
said,
and
"Don't
his
rabbits
teeth grew, and so
also
it was like
screech
a
when threatened?"
plot point.
So
So
that
it's
was
like that's how
Brian
I knew
asked that
about it.
question.
I otherwise
And
wasn't
I
aware
do
of that
believe
fact.
they do make a sound. So that
I
is
was aware of that fact since
So-
beavers
What
are
sound
my
would that
favorite
be?
animals. And
Well,
of course,
I
their
mean,
teeth
I mean,
keep
the
growing.
screech is going to be, you know,
That's why they.
actually you can
why they
hear it
gnaw
really
on
well
wood.
if it's accurate
Interesting.
on the
They're not my
hidden
favorite
track
animal.
on that Tool album that has Sober.
Most days I would say turtle.
It's way at the end, you know.
Turtles aren't fuzzy though.
Cries of the carrots, and then it has the rabbits. Anyway, but
shells.
an epiglottal actually
I
wouldn't
told
sound
you
like
I
that.
had
An
a
epiglottal
turtle
actually
right.
kind of sounds like you're choking.
I did too.
So,
and I
you know,
told
this
you
is
that, right?
pharyngeal, right? You know,
I think we told each other about our
right?
pet turtles
Back there.
before, probably several
But
times.
And I think you saw the
epiglottal
picture of my
is
pet turtle.
I don't have a picture of my turtle.
Do you remember it fit in my hand?
Oh.
It was so tiny.
Way down there. You could feel it.
Yeah, that would have been, 1982.
I don't know. Doesn't sound too rabbity to me.
Not mine, but...
It doesn't sound rabbity to me either.
Not a happy rabbit.
I would have no possible way of.
I mean, you are much older than me, so
Yeah.
Even if
it makes sense that your turtle
fact,
would be...
Do we want
Wizened
because
is the word.
because of how short everything
You'd
would
say
be in the
wizened,
rabbit
wouldn't
system?
you?
Do we even want models?
That is something that we could cut out. I am very partial to the word haney for rabbit, but doesn't need to be there.
Haney.
I've used it before.
That's right, I have.
But
Could it be a feeler?
40.
Haney.
How far are we in and we're still
I'm-
just staring at the
Ooh,
consonants?
Becky O'Hare. 47 is where
I mean,
we apparently
theoretically,
start
glottal should be
consonants.
possible for
We're not even there
anybody,
yet.
right? Because it's just
I mean,
a
we've
pause.
started.
Because
We've
it's-
deleted
if you can
stuff.
do the
Yeah.
other sounds of humans, then
But if you're not feeling a glottal stop for this, we can get rid of that.
not feeling the glottal stop. The H, I'm okay.
Okay.
That was a good decision.
All right.
You're
In it-
welcome.
High five. All
I'm
right.
also not 100% sure I'm feeling the full series of nasals.
Oh yeah. Often, let me.
Look at my
often the
face.
way that this works is I usually put these in for everything, but I usually do this and say say
There are a
parentheses
lot of
around
people
something.
wanting
Is that
tones
technically the
in
sound
this
is there, but only
language.
when
You
it's-
see this? Tonal.
this thing is followed
Tones.
by a-
Tonal rabbit.
But we don't even have to do that. But
look,
But
I,
okay.
There's
I
also,
like that. Same for the velar,
like,
and then keep the M in the
you
end.
get especially
Which
a lot of
doesn't in
younger
more
conlangers in your
All right.
room say, okay,
So
we're
in
going to
their own
start
places.
making a
Incidentally, the word
language.
for
And the
rabbit
first thing they say is like,
Veda, which
make
is
it
one of
split
the
S.
languages that
Make
this-
it so that it has
it's
97
like,
cases. Make it tone, and then also with ejectives, and also
Ooh, that's
clicks,
two
and then
velars?
also
Yeah.
stress, and then also,
Nice. Ooh, I do like
what's
that.
the other one? Tone
Okay,
accent.
so
What is that
a
one
lot
called?
of people really this
Pitch
doesn't
accent,
make
yeah.
yet, but a
Yeah.
lot of people want tones.
And also Austronesian.
Everybody is saying tones.
No.
Dominic even
see.
says phonemic volume could work because their ears can pick up a
See,
wider
I'm
range of
working
sound levels.
I mentioned, see, I'm
all
trying to
sorts
keep
of-
up with the comments.
Okay.
You always
this
have. I
Is,
really
this is my
appreciate
thought
that.
on this. So, people following along, please.
It
tell
went
me
back
if
to
you're-
top chat replay.
I didn't want to do tone for the rabbits.
Didn't I
because
change it to
wanted
live
do
chat?
Tone for the mice.
I did, but like...
It's because of that. It's
It's
because of the
you
mini
changed
player.
the mode.
Such a
You see what
serious
you did?
statement.
You
The
mess
way
with
you said it,
things,
I still
and
you
wanna know
stop
what
and think
theater
about
mode
what
is.
you just said. It's ridiculous,
Yeah,
but
I'm just
lovely.
gonna look it up on my
I'm
phone.
delighted.
All right. So,
So tonal mice.
yeah, that was my thought.
we've been talking about tones for mice since this episode.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. Cool. So then, so we'll do stress for this, and we're gonna.
People are on board for the tonal mice.
Okay. Good.
Theater.
Oh my gosh, tonal
So I
mice.
was
This
kind
was
of
a
excited
thing
about
since
that.
episode
We're
1.
gonna
And we did it.
get
Well, we're doing
rid
it
of that section.
right now.
We-
Not just we did it, but
All right,
like...
back.
We even had a
Okay,
chance to
so-
have contour tones.
Now,
Remember
we've
that?
got our places.
No,
Let's talk
I don't.
about manner, and in particular, let's just kind of leave the fricatives, approximants, and nasals aside. Let's talk about stops.
Okay.
So at the earliest
Theater
stage,
mode YouTube.
do we want to be rocking just a series of plain
I'm trying to read
voiceless,
Jason's whole comment here.
stops with no
I don't want to use tones for the rabbits because I want
modification
tones for the
whatsoever?
mice.
Do we wanna
Absolutely
have,
convince me I'm listening to the correct live stream and
like a
making good
two-way
life
series or a
choices.
three-way
That's
series? If so,
amazing.
what?
The theater mode
That
allows
is
you to
a
watch a
great
YouTube video with a
question.
larger screen, but you don't need to use the full screen
At the
mode.
very beginning.
Mhm.
At the very beginning. I think it could potentially be cool to do a two-way series. Because then we could lose some of the... We could do 3, of course, but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of my own limitations.
All right. No, I don't need to do.
Although we wouldn't
Even
have
there,
to
like I'm
pronounce
thinking of my
that.
own limitations of pronunciation, and I will say this is still the only language that we've created that I can semi-pronounce
They cluck.
correctly.
Oh, cluck.
Until every once in a while I
I
forget
don't
the
know.
ash
I-
versus the
I-
ah, and then I
Did
just
you
kind of
just do
mix
a rabbit
up
cluck?
stress,
I was
and
trying,
I
and I
sometimes
started
don't
out
do
really
the
well, and I
Ingma in the
ended
correct
up with
way,
chicken cluck.
but like I'm the best at pronouncing this out of the
It's
3
been a
languages
while
that we've done
since
so
I've
far.
done like a
For
proper
LangTime
mind
Studio.
meld with a rabbit
Also, you should probably
To
include
really
Mini
kind of-
Shay. Yeah?
understand their being.
I'm still better at
You
pronouncing.
know, my
Okay.
daughter's
Ngala than I am.
Pronunciating Ngala, got it. Gotcha.
daycare
And,
provider.
yeah, I heard
she
it.
had a rabbit. And And so I would
What
say
a-
that
what
right
about-
My
then,
wizened
she had
ways
good
are
shipper.
beyond your abilities to comprehend.
Oh, your daughter has a
Oh,
different
you
name
might
for
should
that.
articulate it
Not
anyway.
that the
So,
rabbit had
what
to go to
about
a different one.
the
It's a farm
new
upstate.
language that we are working on for the new sexy show?
No,
New
the good news
sexy
is that
language.
rabbit
What about
is
that
I
one?
still alive and well.
struggle
Oh, good.
with
Yeah.
Good.
I can visit it right now.
Some
I'm an
aspects
adult.
of it.
I can do what I want.
I mean, we can talk about the phonological aspects of the language.
Jason
It's
just
not giving
said
anything
David
away.
speaks rabbit
Which
with a heavy
aspects
chicken accent.
do you
That's
struggle
the
with?
best sentence of the day. We're done. We're done.
making sure that
Okay,
stress is
so
where it's
going
supposed to
back to
be,
stops,
and
we
the
do
long
the
vowels.
voicing
Because I
distinction,
sometimes don't.
and then looking
Lengthen
just at the
them
voice
right.
list, though, you had said, sorry, I need to.
And yeah, that
Focus,
too.
looking
Sometimes
just
I
at
don't get my
voiceless
nasals right.
distinction.
So some of the
the
major
PTK.
features of the language I get wrong. I feel
Do you
like
want to
I think you're all right. I think you're all
I
right.
still feel
Aspirated
like I'm
and
bested in
aspirated?
Aleph.
I've seen some recommendations for that in the chat.
Okay.
We can certainly
It's really hard for
give
me to
that
read
a try.
white text on a dark
wait.
screen.
I
According,
see
David
urban
speaks with a
farms, they
heavy
also
chicken
get
accent.
chicken slang as a
according
mouse
to
anyway.
experts, it's easier to read.
That's from. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong.
For my eyes, it's not,
Matisse.
and experts have not been
Matisse?
studying my eyes specifically. And I'm
No,
telling you,
gonna
like,
say it's Matisse,
when I look at your
but I
screen,
can't
all I
pronounce,
see is
Dutch diphthongs.
white blurs. Like, I have to get close
Matisse?
to actually really read the individual. I can't
I'm
otherwise
assuming it's Dutch.
differentiate.
By the way,
But
this whole
wonderful,
the
wonderful
prenasalized stop
specifically
thing evidently
wrong.
came from chat.
So yeah,
They're the ones that saddled us with
prenasalized
that.
stops or
I
aspirated
mean, we got
stops.
rid of them. And sound changes.
I know, it's just so difficult. Oh, most of the mistakes I make when
Because I can see
working with inhalers
prenasalized
is old
stops.
prenasalized stops.
If you can see them, I want to get on board with that.
Okay, now I just want to.
And I'm like, no, please
clarify
no.
what this
God,
is
no.
going
And then we do.
That means.
And I'm like,
we
I'm
have
here
words
for it.
starting with
I can do
that.
this.
Right.
However, this is at the earliest stage.
Right.
So one of two things happen. I've done one of two things with prenasalized stops at the beginning. No, three things. One of them is to keep them. You have prenasalized stops at the beginning of words.
I'm
That's
not a
fine.
fan. I'm
Another
like, yeah,
is
okay.
to just level them. Voice stops at the beginning of words. I did that with Castathan to create.
I'm thinking, yes, please.
To create three different characters that were all pronounced B, for example, at the beginning. One that was a proto B, one that was a proto ba, implosive, and one that was a proto mba. And
I
at
was
the
like,
beginning of a
oh,
word, they
please,
were
no
all
implosives.
pronounced the same, and so you just had to learn it when you were spelling. It was amazing. That's still one of my favorite writing systems that I've ever done. Okay, so okay, we can do that, or the
I should do
aspirated.
implosives for the dog language.
Side
What
note,
we got?
it looks like
Burp, burp.
his name would, I think, be Matisse, because he just provided IPA for
Wow.
the IJ.
It's the first time I
It's an
said his name.
epsilon E, Matisse.
Look how
Matisse.
intense I am with trying to
I'm
read
gonna
these
get your name.
comments.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
You know,
Matisse.
I don't know if you
A,
remember when this
A.
happened back in, I'm going to say 2005 or 4, but the White Stripes came out with an album that just, it really
Stale.
brought Dutch diphthongs to the forefront of everybody's mind. Because everybody
Trying not to
was
spit my
trying to
water.
figure out how the heck to pronounce it. It was this album called, I don't know, De Stale. And it's basically
like I
the
have no idea
style,
what you're talking
but
about.
it was
Yeah.
in
Cool,
Dutch.
David.
And again, I have no idea if it was even accurate.
I'm surprised
I
you
think it
don't really
But,
you don't really know much about popular
Okay.
music, do you?
Yeah, I find
Going
implosives
back
real
You know who the
difficult.
White Stripes are, don't you?
Prenasalization
Yeah, but I had no
seems
idea
to
what
be
you were
a
talking
hit.
about.
This day?
Okay.
People are feeling it.
That,
Okay.
The
yeah, I
album?
still don't know what you're talking about.
NEICU. Not even going to try to say what that name would be. So we're
It
feeling
had that
the
album
Okay.
cover.
Then this is what we're gonna do for right now. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
totally,
do
that
proto
one.
sounds right
Yes.
now. Anyway, so I use slashes to distinguish like voiced versus voiced, and commas to set off different types.
Oh, here we go.
Uh,
Getting the prenasalized stops.
There we go.
We used to have someone watching called Gravity Grid. I wonder whatever
at
happened
that.
to Gravity Grid.
That's not a fancy M. Did I do that wrong? Hold on a
Ooh,
sec.
lots of looks at the top of your head as you're trying to figure out. how
No,
to-
that's it. All right.
Get your keyboard.
It's funny when you edit cells, I can't see it till you
better
get
in
out
front
of
at
the
the
cell, so
moment.
that way it like updates. So like right now you're just
Doesn't ring
staring
a
at
bell?
the screen asking if it's
No.
correct.
It's a big surprise.
And then there I am close up. Hello!
Although, and then here, I could just zoom in.
Okay, we're gonna leave that blank for the time
Hey,
being.
whatever happened to
And
your
then
changing
we're
colors?
going to
'Cause
we're gonna
your
go
highlight
ahead
colors are
and
different.
use.
Where did the bright blue
How
go?
do
Did
you-
you lose it on purpose? Was it an
how do you,
update that changed it?
No.
do
I
you do
did
the
change it on
anima?
purpose to fit.
Are you using
The
the,
LangTime
IPA
colors.
keyboard that you
Yes.
get
That's
from
green.
SIL?
Mhm.
Then it's sorry, it's the dead key is the right
Uvular
angle,
implosive
the
is
angle bracket
easy
that's closing.
peasy.
Oh no,
And then
that's
N.
no.
What is, sorry?
The super. The,
You had to
the
sign a
super,
waiver before attempting.
the-
Yes.
The one that's above the writing level. That one.
Oh,
There.
Can't you
Oh, I got it.
just-
I got it.
Uvular implosive
Can't you just do the upward caret
the
and
most
make it small?
ridiculous sound ever.
No, there's a special IPA character
That's
for
it.
it.
Can you do that sound?
And
Oh.
use,
Is that why they're
I mean,
showing
like, if
up
I'm
darker?
pretending
Because
to
the
gulp.
M does
Do
look
it.
different. And
Just saying, I have
the
to think
Agma
about
now
it.
looks like a darker form.
Yes, but this is why I thought I had.
give me a minute.
So this version
now
of
I'm gonna
Palatino
laugh,
that
which
I'm
means I
using,
can't
I
do it.
Think,
created.
Jesse.
I hacked it.
Think about it. Think,
It's
think,
Palatino
think.
X, and you have it. I sent it to you.
Yes.
But evidently, I didn't do these superscript characters, so they're just coming out in the default
Like that?
font.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those two are. You can see the N is good. The N is
Yeah,
good.
the N looks totally
Disgraceful.
fine.
I'm gonna have to produce a new version of Palatino X
Yes.
just to get those right. All right. So
X.2.
okay.
So
That's
okay,
terrible.
so we've got those.
And then, of course, it broke it on my phone because I used to have Palatino X on
Okay.
my phone. Now it's not there because of this.
People are asking, what are the species of the world? So the five ones are dogs, cats,
I want to
rabbits,
say
mice,
you
and
went
then,
from not wearing glasses
possums.
to wearing
But
glasses to getting new
there's the
glasses.
potential
and
to
I've had the
open
same
up
glasses the
to
entire
many,
time.
many more. Right,
Yeah.
right now, I was just working with kind of smallish mammals.
The only thing that changed on me,
Anyway,
the headphones.
but
I already have ideas for
Yeah,
cats.
the
Okay, sorry, rabbits.
I didn't wear glasses because I hate
I
them.
love cats.
And I hate the way that I look in them, especially those old glasses.
I once started a.
But I started
children's
wearing
book that
them
was
just
based on a
because
dream called
I have
Cat
a hard
and
time
Rabbit.
seeing the
I really liked
screen.
it.
It's like 3 feet in front of me,
It's gonna be
but
so
so
much
far
fun.
away.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So for
problematic.
fricatives, let's just leave it at that right
It's-
now, and let's just say
It's
we're
funny
doing
that, you know,
proto right
it's
now.
distance
We'll figure
vision,
out
that's my
how
problem,
sound
but it's
changes
like,
when we're done with this proto inventory.
This is a distance for me.
Fricatives.
It's
I'm
too
feeling
far
The
away.
palatals are going to come
So what happens
to
when you
phonological changes later, so they're not going to be
become
proto.
wizened?
All right.
Yeah,
Let's,
I can't-
let's at the
I
very
can't
least
wait
get rid of
till
that.
I
Let's
can
leave
finally
approximate
just,
aside for the moment.
yeah, I can stop trying to
Now,
pretend that I'm young and I can
fricatives
finally
in
do
terms
my
of-
real
so,
voice. You know?
These guys can be special
yes.
because coronal fricatives.
I mean, right now I only pull it out as a joke, but I
um,
mean, you know, I really
so,
do.
are
I
we feeling
sound
S
like this.
and
This is the
Z
way I
or
talk.
just a
and
voiceless one?
It's very uncomfortable for
I
me to
think it
have
would
to constantly
be cool
pretend that this is
If
not
we
the
had
way I
S and
talk.
Z, but then we
I
only
like that
had the
you
F, X,
semi-
and H.
Get a New
So no
York
other
City
voices
accent
except
on
for
the
Z is
the
the
vowels
only
when
one
you're
that
old.
is
I didn't realize
Sure.
that.
We fricatives
No, that's
are
true.
Where you're
voiceless,
from
and the
changes based
coronals
on-
are
All right, I can
voiceless
actually
in
change it so I
nature.
can sound like my
The
grandfather.
only question that comes to mind is if
Let me
there
see.
should be a
But I need something to say.
nasalized
What should I
version
say?
of the Z.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, but you got to keep going. That was good.
Remember,
Oh.
this is
Phonemes.
proto. It might not last.
there's too many
Right.
of them.
Let's do it for proto.
Okay.
I feel like we could make some fun changes. With that.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Let's see. Oh God,
Cool.
that prenasalized Z is the worst decision we made on this language. There, I
Oh
said.
yeah, copying and
I
pasting.
hate that
That
prenasalized
could
Z. I
totally
hate
work.
it so
I know. I
much.
finally
I'm trying
downloaded
to-
an IPA keyboard because
Yeah.
I type in IPA and out.
Why did
Yeah,
we do
I
it?
have one of those, and I switch between that and then my default
As a lark,
keyboard
We
layout.
were
which I
like,
made.
well,
which allows me
We got
to
these
do
And then we
all
left it.
this. I
pre-nasalized
IP
stops. Why not do a
characters,
pre-nasalized Z?
and also most
Interesting.
hat checks and things like
Oh,
that.
disaster.
Just with
Oh, and this is also before.
All right,
Do you
I'm feeling pretty
remember
good about that.
way back in the
Feeling pretty
day,
good about that.
like
All right.
2 months ago, when we
So,
still didn't know about polls
approximates. Do we
on
want to have
comments,
any,
and
or
so
do we
every
just
time we
wanna
asked
have them be
questions, we would
versions
just
of
like
vowels?
essentially
In fact,
count
you know
the
what?
number of comments. But then we'd have to remember
W,
if someone
forget the
voted
glide.
twice, and we
Forget the glides.
have some
Let's look
people
at
in our
the
comment, and you know who you
L and
are,
R situation.
where we would
I
have
think
to
we
be
should
like,
just
will
have
you
L.
stop voting?
Done.
Man, do you remember
Done and
those
done.
days?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now let's go. Now let's talk about the glides.
That was nice, though. That was a good decision. Saying, I'm not going to deal with
Done,
R.
one box.
It's so nice when
Yeah,
you have a
glides.
language
So,
and you just
Do
don't
we
have to
want
deal
to
with
have
R.
glides
Oh,
be their own characters, like their own like meaty consonants, or should we just have them kind of occur as a result of what happens with vowels?
I'm a fan of having a start of a vowel-heavy language. Yeah, and then getting the W and the J from the E and the U.
Getting them for free, you bet. All right.
My
So if
little
anyone's
head
wondering, they
bob
will be
thinking
there.
dance.
Yeah.
They'll come.
by the way, I'm wearing my LCC1 shirt.
I'm wearing
That's right, Jason.
my
It's those
favorite
English
flannel.
abbots. We took
Your
out the
favorite
R.
is the blue one?
That one right there. It's very soft and cozy and
Alright.
comfy. I love it.
Cool. Okay.
Oh, and Zachary agrees. He says
And it's a
glide
good
from
color on me.
Okay, so that's good. Then we're happy with that.
You can't disagree. So
Okay, so vowels,
I
proto
suppose I
level.
can't.
I mean, usually you want to start simpler. What are you feeling?
Damn central vowels.
For the vowels. Oh, yeah, way simpler.
Probably that.
E,
So we can agree on that. That's pretty easy.
and U.
big eyes.
And you want that to be unrounded? Nice. I don't know. I was thinking. I don't know. No, you're right. I'm sorry, rounded.
Yes.
If
yes.
we only knew what was coming in the possum language,
Okay. Oh, my God.
these jokes are no longer funny.
Kills it every time.
Goodness
isn't it?
gracious,
Okay,
that
so
language
here's
is so difficult to
something
pronounce.
I do a lot. And I'm
Oh
gonna
my
say
God.
it just
Good
so
old
we don't have to do it.
Taffa.
But I want to
So
say it just
sorry.
in case.
Every time I
somebody
see an
said,
O, I just want to say
it's
it
there.
O.
I often do the three vowel
Every
proto
time I
system,
see a U, I want to say it. Ooh.
where combinations of vowels
difficult.
give you the mid vowels. And I've done it in two ways. One where it's a three vowel proto system, just high front, high back, and low. Another one where I've kept schwa, and you get diphthongs from the low vowel and then monophthongs from the schwa.
And so that was actually Hoboman Cat 1 specifically said ah, schwa, e, u. So that would be that three vowel plus a schwa.
I haven't done it in
Hey,
a while.
Chris
Kinda
Halby,
like
I didn't
that.
know you went all the way back to episode 1.
Yeah,
And then for this,
it's fun to see.
how I guess
I
when
feel like
all right,
we haven't seen Jason in a
let's-
while,
let's,
have we? Because
let's
Jason
just,
Reed was
all
super
right.
active for a while.
you got
Yeah.
you
I
got
think,
some words
seen.
here.
I remember he had to leave at some point.
Oops, sorry. Though actually, that could be a cool word. Tanha. All right. And then
And it totally works with what we got.
Oh, back when we did a lot more testing.
all right. How do you want to pronounce those?
And actually
A's?
thinking
You
through
really
what
wanna
we
get
were
in there
doing
and
instead of
say,
just
like,
let's do this.
Tana,
Move ahead.
Tanha, Lamba,
No.
Daka. Or do you want to allow
I'm thinking
them
about that
to
baking
slide
show.
forward? Tana, Tanha, Lamba, and Daka.
Even I know
Well,
test.
I mean, I like the second pronunciation better.
Then that is what we're gonna do. Get rid of that vowel. We're done.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
so
a good vowel system.
this is our proto set. I like it.
Wow.
I like it
We
a
did
lot.
the protoforms.
It's beautiful.
And that's it.
It's
That really
very,
is it. That's
very
everything.
pristine. Now let's mess
And-
it up.
Okay, we're an hour and 2 in. We essentially
So,
did it in 25 minutes.
At this point, let's just
Yeah, because the rest of the
let's
show was
kind
just
of,
filler. You know what we
let's
should have done at
actually
this
do
point?
What I was just doing,
But we
Let's
didn't
throw
because
out
we
some
didn't do it
words.
yet. We just finished our
Anybody, throw out some
proto-phonology.
words.
Kopiko.
Try not
Absolutely.
just two syllables, one
This is
syllable.
pre-Kopiko.
I mean,
It
we
is.
should talk
And
about
even when
codas, shouldn't
Kopiko
we?
entered the stream, it was only on your end.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, we should do it now.
I tried to do a push for not a moo.
We should
but
do that. I was seeing if anyone was throwing out words.
that was-
so I was
it's
gonna
That's ice
more-
cream.
yell at you
It
if
is, so I
saw it.
couldn't really
Sure.
have
Well, I
it
guess
with
we
me,
can
so
just
instead
do
I would just
CV,
say,
CV,
no,
Can you
right now, 'cause
imagine
everybody's going to
if
allow that,
every
but
single
we'll have to talk
week
about. We'll have to get.
I ate a
to-
whole pint of ice cream.
each of us just downed a pint of ice
Okay,
cream.
so here's one
Can you
from
imagine
the crowd.
people waiting?
So you just
Like,
second celebrating, celebrating.
I said
Ooh, brain
disyllabic, not
freeze.
trisyllabic.
Anyway, well, we can fix that now.
There we go.
Although I think some of the ones that are
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
candy dish
they are on
are
a
the
roll
ones
now.
that
And
may
so
have
this is
gotten
where the
melted
big
on a road
question
trip.
comes in. Is
Well, we have to
is
find out.
Sinzi going to be distinguished from Sinzi?
Okay.
From
But I mean, I think
yeah.
there's also the
That.
cappuccino
You always
ones
have to
down
deal
here
with
if you
that.
wanted to get real crazy.
No, that's all right. I know you don't like
I mean,
them.
right now,
All right.
no. If we're just doing.
Kopico.
Oh wait, Dana,
Celebrating
no, there's no vowel like
the
that.
Ingala
Proto vanilla.
proto forms.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
Typing too fast. Ooh, but somebody did then suggest,
Man, these
and I have
things.
to take this out of cap.
I
How
could
do the
open
wrappers-
this one.
Wow.
Oh wow, yeah, you got a bum wrapper.
There we go.
It's been happening a lot to
okay.
me
No,
lately.
no, no. Do it like this. Do it like this. Do it like this. There you go.
Oh, nice. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a good list, I think.
Yeah,
Why,
good
though,
list
did
for
you
starting,
type in
sure,
all
I guess.
caps for these forms?
But we don't. Well, we have.
They're
very
just like
few-
potential proto forms.
Yeah, that's why. So you'd know that they weren't real.
Oh, somebody just said.
And now, not only do we not test, but when we do type potential, we're just like, bloopity
Come on
doo.
now. Oh, in my
Yeah, this
IPA
is my thing, but like
keyboard,
we have
I
our
can't
own
do
thing
caps
now,
lock.
and so
That's fun.
Which is forging ahead without testing and dealing with the results.
Kopico, taste the nostalgia.
Yeah, I gotta get all the trash up there.
Okay, and one of these at least has a coda. All right, let's have this discussion. So, codas, we can do
I'm starting to kind of
everything
slide down, get
or
bad
nothing,
posture. That's the hard part about working.
or
on a couch.
somewhere in between.
Speak for yourself. My posture is great.
I say for the original, let's do limited codas. And then one of the future changes could potentially be opening the door for new codas through like reduction
Yeah,
and having
thank you. There is no
vowels
V.
reduced,
Wow, I usually
and
go
just ending up getting
Like
consonants.
immediately
I usually go the other way,
immediately
say
making
lots
an
of
error.
words at the beginning and then get rid of them
Okay.
later on.
Okay.
But
We've needed our commenters all along.
Also, look at me
So we
showing
have
off
this
that I have a
prenasalized
capital for
series.
schwa.
You did a whole thing for it
And
too
that's-
when you
so
were
yeah,
typing
that's-
the roots on the
this is
the
kind of
potential roots
like-
on the first column.
So if we're
You
going
made
to
a
have
big
codas at
big
all,
to do about
I mean,
it.
chances
I know,
are
it's
very
'cause I
good that n is going to be
really
a
wanted
coda.
to show off.
So then we have the situation where we have this versus right versus potentially right.
Oh God, yeah.
What was the first Patreon poll? Oh, we'll find out this episode surely.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Okay, so that would be interesting. Could you technically say those words all differently?
Yes.
Can you pronounce them for the masses?
No. Okay, I'll give it a
I was
shot.
hoping.
So we have, Sinzi versus Sinzi versus Sinzi.
Oh, that's kind of fun. Could go bonkers with a lot of overlap once we go through some changes.
And I'm like,
but
I totally hear the difference.
I mean, it could work.
I felt the
Okay.
difference.
I'm
We could also, someone suggested just doing.
I'm gonna say
stop
cool.
codas.
Good job, man.
That would be weird.
I don't want to pronounce
that would
it,
be
so I'm gonna say
usually
you did it.
Approximate to nasals.
For a proto language.
Sometimes there are those where
language, that
there
would be
may
weird.
not actually be a phonetic
You
distinction.
do
You just
see
feel it in your
coda
bones.
P's popping up out of the middle
There
of
was nowhere,
because
what was
that's
it?
what happens when you close your
My
mouth
old
and
phonetics
stop.
professor John O'Halla, he related an anecdote where
That sounded
he
fatal.
was talking to a speaker of Japanese who, in the writing system, when they have geminates,
Okay.
in order to write a
so-
geminate, there's a little character you write up, and it's actually a little version of the character tsu. And And he said the speaker said
How
to
are
him,
you feeling about codas?
you know,
is my
when you're
question
pronouncing
now.
these, there's a
Feeling like
little
I
bitty
always
"t"
come up
there,
against
but
this
only
problem,
Japanese people
and
can
I
hear
hate
it.
I
Nice.
avoided it with Castithan by saying,
And then, of course,
very
there's
simply,
the famous
no codas.
tundra ninets,
And that's, well, at
where
least
there's
the
a
proto
contrast
stage,
between
Castithan
a
had
voiceless
absolutely
and
no
voiced
codas.
glottal
Now
stop.
Castithan has all kinds of codas, but since there were no
And
codas at the beginning, there was
the
never any
linguist who
problem
did this
about,
claimed to have
you just
mastered it.
deftly avoided this thing.
No.
People are like, I kind of like that now, the all three differences.
Of course they did. Our patrons, they just...
Do you also like, though, that if you look at the specific
may have
comment I'm
created
reading, I really like,
monster.
and then I skipped the word and just said,
Triplet,
that now.
And now Dominic is saying this one should be the name of the language.
We could have a whole master class on how to avoid pronouncing words you don't know how to say while still reading the comments with them.
Yeah, you're pretty ace at that. Well done.
I've had a lot of practice.
I mean, with sound changes, I could see you getting something
I just
like
spilled water down my
this.
shirt. Missed my mouth.
You're...
And I'm all like, I got it.
Yeah, and you're trying not to smile.
Right.
And then you, like, you know, afterwards you tried to look even more intense.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well done.
I did not just miss my mouth. Wow.
Hang on. Sorry. Let me you stop it.
Advice for
Let
live
me try
streaming.
something else here.
Stop,
Let's see.
think, and say nothing as you stare.
I was just wondering what was on your mind. I know what was on my mind. I was
let's call it
seriously thinking about that.
Let's just pretend that N is our only coda at this moment.
Okay.
And then
It ended up being our only coda. Yep.
okay, so that's the proto form. Let's see this becoming amba versus ama versus. It's just amba again, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to do with that now, Peterson?
Maybe.
Oh, a geminate? Really? You think that's what's going to happen? Terrible.
End up with geminates, at least for the stops. That could work. And this is, of course, assuming a sound change where, you get this becomes nasal, right?
Yeah, we know. Or at least everybody
Right.
following along should
You
know.
know what?
Sorry, I'm reading the comments over here, and then
But you know what we'd end up with? We'd end up with word initial velar nasals.
and you would get your "ee." Is this what we're going for?
I don't know. Look, I wasn't trying to do it. It just happened.
Totally.
Do we
Okay.
have word initial
So,
velar nasals
wouldn't
in
that
any
change the
language that we have
theme
created
then?
jointly?
No, because it's different because it's a fricative. That's the thing.
Oh.
Which one?
So you see the sound change I did there?
We have it.
The mouse
Mouse
language.
I
language.
see
The
it,
mouse
but I'm
language.
wondering why the
But that's it, right?
like I understand it here, and then
And we
this
didn't
wouldn't
get it
just
in
become an
Nala?
N now.
No.
I felt like it would do this more. I don't know why.
And
Because
we
it
did
was
so
because
many
it
palatalized
was because
things
the sibilant. It's powerful,
in
right?
possum language that I don't think we have.
That
it
was
there.
So the power of the sibilant
Bit of
is
a
the exception
real
to
world
the
interlude my mother
prenasalization
just
consonant
called.
becoming the nasal.
Yes.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Text her.
We could.
Wait,
Okay,
you're
hang
not
on.
gonna-
Hang on.
Put her on
hang on,
speaker
I'm gonna-
and call her.
I'm gonna switch colors here, just so that we.
Okay.
Oh, there was
don't
another tongue
confuse.
moment you were looking
Um,
down.
Oh!
And it is
Wish I could run that back.
this
I mean, I could, but we're on a time schedule here.
versus
You just said curses. I love it.
right.
Okay.
No, versus this
Wait,
versus.
did you not believe me? No, you can't begin with a.
I was just verifying for
Wait,
myself.
sorry.
Okay.
Remember,
what I'm
because
doing?
we get
See what
an
I'm doing?
epenthetic vowel in front of words that begin with a
Yeah.
prenasalized
Okay.
consonant.
Wait, just 1 minute. Let me see how it works
That's
over
where
here.
that's why it's angala.
Don't you sass me. Hold on. All right. Throwing out a
That started in episode
that?
1?
Wow.
square root thingy. Okay, so then,
I could have sworn that came from sassafras,
it wouldn't
but I
go
guess
in.
not.
Unless it's
Wow.
pulling, unless it pulls everything to the middle.
Interesting.
Okay, so then this could be, let's see.
And sassafras doesn't happen until much later, right?
Yeah, much later.
Oba. Okay, hang on. I gotta. Okay, so Oba versus, and
Right.
then Ama, right?
Definitely not in that
Versus
one. And there's no way we had it in here.
or is it?
I'm just
there are
checking.
no nasals.
Yeah.
No, it's just that. Okay, because it's no. Okay, this is the no geminate version. Okay, so what's happening here is
See,
that
I'm gonna
a
say the
coda
mouse language is
nasal
the only
is
No.
killing
language
things.
we've done together.
Unless there's
but then-
one
then
in
why does
some
it
of the
stay
many
there?
sketches we did for the music project.
Oh
Oh,
crap!
I'm sure there are.
Lost it. I had it, but I lost it.
Had that idea.
Mm-hmm.
Why all
See, it
caps, though?
works.
Thank you.
It works here. You get the three-way distinction here,
But
here.
Wow. So remember
Unless
Brian McRae says in beginner with
I'm
con
sorry.
ringing and seeing
This
this
is what would
happen
happen.
so fast.
That's what would happen.
It's both
It would be
inspiring
stagey.
and depressing. So this is fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a whole
Interesting.
system
So
together.
then we would really then only have those ends when they are onsets of the
How did I miss that
syllables.
this person, Dominic Doherty,
Oh,
his
Like
native
in
tongue
the
is
newer
Fijian?
form.
like
Because they
you
would
didn't
otherwise
read
if
a lot
they're
of
codas,
comments
they're
back
gonna
then and
be
counted
Right,
on
right,
me
right.
reduced
to
and changing them out.
recap for
yeah.
you.
So I haven't even
Yeah.
gotten
Oh, and
there
I'm
yet
well
when we're
aware.
starting,
I'm
we
well
haven't
aware,
even gotten there
Dominic,
yet.
that prenasalized stops are written with BD
So,
and G and Fijian. Who do you think you're
so,
talking to?
Oh yeah,
I
and
mean,
then okay, so we can discuss this. All right,
I was
so,
the one who received from Doug as a present a
let's just
grammar of
tack this out
Fijian.
real quick. So with nasals,
Doug Ball.
I like how
they
you
will sometimes lower the
so
previous
specific
vowel,
in
but I also had them raise vowels. So this is what I was measuring in that experiment I did when for my master's thesis. I was looking at nasal codas affecting previous vowels.
I was looking at my own languages
SoCal
to see
English
if I
speakers.
had,
And what was
and I
happening
swear
is
I
that with the
have
low
at least
vowels, they
one
were
with an
getting
onset.
raised quite a bit. So
Your
a
languages
was
are just
becoming
stuffed with
a,
implosives, right?
and ah was becoming aw. So it's like Bob versus Bob.
I don't even think I have. Oh no, I did have one here.
Isn't that so? Right?
But then, unfortunately, all
No,
the other
I
vowels were also
swear.
getting raised. It was just getting raised all the
Oh, this
way
one
up.
isn't filled out as much, so,
like
I don't have as many
sing,
examples.
or however you all pronounce it. It's coming sing.
Right.
Yeah. So that's everything getting raised all the way up.
Oh
But I
yeah,
have
pay
seen
attention.
lowering.
I'm trying to
don't
just
know
see
if
if
lowering
I've
would happen
on
here
my own created a
and
language
raising would happen here.
with an angma.
Wait. Because we did have that as a higher
Oh my god.
Oh,
Ah,
look at that
sounds
taste. I'm
instead
glad
of
I
the
just remembered my
ah.
pizza in
It
time.
could still technically be lowered if you want
Look
to go
at the
in the
number
same
4
direction.
in this
Ah,
language.
bah.
This is for different
Instead of
categories, noun classes.
Oh.
Oh, I see what you're
What?
saying. Right.
What?
Nawi.
And so-
In Guineso?
Yeah, no, you're right.
In Guineso.
So essentially,
But
How
This
about
would
that?
be-
I do have.
Wow. And is that an
That's-
adjective?
and this
Yes.
would be
An
Oh, that's
adjective
In my own language.
in your own language and words starting with a velar nasal. How about that? And you can pronounce this very well, yes?
no, it's
It
would be ama versus ama.
Kawimukcha.
Yeah, ama versus ama.
Oh, I don't know. The more you say it, I like it.
Good
Okay.
job.
Language.
Good job pronouncing your own language with
Don't judge me.
adjectives.
I thought you knew all of my
Goodness
work.
gracious,
This
I
is
mean,
one
it's
I
just
would have
happening.
sent
All right,
you. This
we
is a
could
complete
actually
grammar
have
that I
another
sent you.
sound change
I know.
that
How are
raises
you
this to
surprised?
awe.
I know. Why do you think
just
that
because,
why do you think that I picked you? I'm like,
dissimilation.
wow, this person really knows
we could
their
also
stuff,
put-
and it
but we could
also
also keep
can
it. We could also
pronounce
keep
a
it.
wide variety of consonants.
Okay,
But
first of all, you had met me
I
by
have been
then.
wondering-
You knew my
So we have these
pronunciation
two
game
different
was.
possible sound changes here going on.
You
one with
knew
lowering
that.
and
You
one
put
without.
up a very clever subterfuge.
And then one where these. Actually, both of these things are getting
Also,
level. One that results in geminates, essentially.
The one language
one
you
that
would have
doesn't.
heard me pronounce.
So one that results in
that I had
geminates,
done.
and then
if you recall, I didn't even get
and
through
then,
my text because I was like, I didn't know I had to read this
stop
out loud in front of
the middle
people
a word.
at the
And then one that just
the
results in
conference.
stop in the middle
What
of
did
a
you
word, and the other one with nasal.
It was
What do
unveiled
people
online.
like?
There was nothing in it that said at the conference you're going to be reading this text out loud for the Conlang Relay.
Hadn't you watched previous videos of previous LCCs?
No.
They're all online.
As a side note, I saw a
No.
comment about somebody
And
saying you're a
so,
beginner, first of all.
All that is to say, I couldn't
we
even
are
make it through the
going
text.
fast,
And
I
like,
promise
if you
that
compare
we
what I
have been
read
thinking
out
linguistics
loud
for many,
for what I
years.
did read versus what's there on the page,
And
it's
so
all over the place.
Oh, I did. I
it goes
compared it
fast.
live.
Only when
How you ever
you have
wanted
a
to work with me
collaborator
after that, I don't know.
helping you
Just
make it
blocked
go
it from my
fast.
memory.
You're like,
I've
I
been
just
doing
need to
it a
make
long
sure
time.
she never pronounces anything.
I have to
It's
say,
all
I
right,
really
though,
do
because-
For what we
like
ever
working
work with.
Jesse,
Honestly,
just
you
because
you just
I don't
hit
know.
such a massive
Get it.
Good
grand
energy.
slam with your presentation at LCC
And,
5 that
and
you
it
could
doesn't
coast
brag,
on the
it's really
relay.
And also, we can both use pages. Just so lovely.
Which is totally, that's actually what
After that, I
Kristen
never
told me
did
at
another
GC.
relay.
Yeah,
I
so-
did run 2 of them.
How did
it
you
could-
run it
yeah,
without
it could raise
participating?
to Schwab, but
Because I knew I wasn't going to be there, so I just ran it.
see
And
that
other people gave me the
happening,
starter
and
text.
I don't want it to.
Huh. How about that?
'Cause,
But yeah, actually, LCC
that
5
would
was
be
an
a
interesting
weird
relay
merger.
because we couldn't
Because
finish
like
it.
it's
right?
not, it wouldn't just be
Because
raising.
we ran out of
right? 'Cause
time,
These two
and
right
so
now are on
then
the same
we
level. This
did it
thing is
in that
moving over to
empty
here
lot
and
next to the Mexican
lowering.
restaurant.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
then, oh, I see what you're saying. It could
Also interesting
raise. Yeah, but that
is
the
that
whole
you
point
don't remember that I
was,
ran the relay when I
We were saying,
like,
why is
asked you
this one
questions
raising
left and right because I had no idea what
and
I was
this
doing the
one
first time I
lowering?
ran it.
So it wasn't
Wasn't it
like
for- what
where
was that
it was
for
raising
LCC
to. It was the
6?
fact that
Or something?
the high
Yeah,
valves
and so I was
were
like, what do I
lowering
do?
and
How
the
do I
low
do this?
valves
And
were
they're like,
raising
well,
at the
contact
same
David. He has all
time.
this stuff.
That
So I'm
was
like,
giving us pause.
yay.
Yeah.
And I asked for your help on like every
So a
aspect.
couple
And
people
I'm
are saying
glad you don't
geminates.
remember
They want
because
the
I'm pretty sure there were like 80 emails.
They
where
are
I'm
pretty
like,
cool. I mean,
What
do I
we
do?
could have
I actually
geminates
remember very little about
anyway.
LCC 6. I don't
And
remember
then-
how the relay
Okay,
went.
hold on. Let's.
I
I'm
mean,
pretty
and there
sure
are
6
also
is when we
some-
actually
I think
had
it's
so
kind of
many
all
people.
over.
We
I
did
think
2
people
rings,
are
one ring
feeling
for people who would be there to
many
read their
ways.
texts, and one ring for people who knew they couldn't be
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah, that wasn't the first that had multiple
we might
rings.
have to just.
I think the first one
We
with
might have
multiple
to
rings
leave
was relay
this
10. No.
right up to
Even
it.
before that, excuse me.
But I think it needs
Forgetting
to
my
be
relay history.
teased
No,
out.
way
So-
before that.
I'm
than
not
we
saying
had
it was
relay.
I'm
See,
not
in-
saying
in
it was a
version-
new thing.
Sure.
I'm just saying that it was the first
version-
time I'd ever run it, and I was running 2.
No, yeah.
And then
Yeah,
of course
I
the
mean,
question
it
is what
was-
happens
yeah.
at the beginning.
But it did
of the
inspire
word.
the
I think
Conlang Relay
for,
assignment that I used for my
left.
Invented Languages class.
I am
Excellent.
laughing.
Because I was like, this is
Right.
fun, and I can totally
with
run this.
version
Except my students just do like a
lack,
sentence, not
I think
like a
that
whole
at the
paragraph.
beginning of a word,
Yeah.
these pre-nasalized
Yeah,
stops
LCC
are
6
just going to
was
become nasals.
bizarre.
I wasn't
Is
there.
that right?
Yeah, it was in,
Uh,
well, it
Is
wasn't.
it
Yeah,
right?
it
Well,
wasn't
it
in
will be
London.
right.
It wasn't in London.
Well,
Yeah,
maybe
It was
so.
40 minutes
It-
south
it
of
is
London
right.
by train because that
Um,
makes sense.
Unless we just want to
Wasn't
say
one
it
of
happens
them, like,
intervocalically. And if
In
that
Cambridge,
happens,
and then
we're gonna
people
have
realized it wasn't the
wide-scale
real Cambridge.
intervocalic
It was
lenition.
like,
So
or like there was a name
that.
associated with it, and everybody
Um,
was like, "Oh, we know we're going to be
yeah,
in this one
which will
city,"
mean voicing, which will
and then
mean
they
blah,
found
blah, blah.
out that
Anyway,
that actually was not at all where
so,
it was located.
Nice.
we can do that.
Honestly, at that point in time,
And then
I
do something
was
different
on LCC 6
with
as my last
initials.
one, but sounds
If we
likely,
were
yeah.
doing something different with initials, I think it would favor
Right.
I only went to the
initial
one in
stress
Austin.
or stress
Yeah.
that was more than likely.
That was a
Sorry,
good
getting
one.
back to
That was a good one. Let's
All
see
right,
where we're
so-
at.
Oh my god, I'm just
120.
picturing Finnish rabbits now, and I love it.
I'm
Ooh.
thinking that word.
and prenasalized
The
problems.
Finnish rabbits
Yeah.
Yes.
and the initial stress.
Oh, we actually start writing sound changes.
And by
Yes.
it works, I mean,
Yeah. But it's a little bit
Let's
before we
do
start
that.
writing
Yeah.
sound
Wait a
changes, so there's
minute.
probably some
Sorry, I
time
said that wrong.
to
Okay.
oh, and people
Do
are fans of
something right now.
intervocalic lenition.
to busk.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So then
Go
let's,
for it.
Let's just take a tiny little
You
nosy
say
here.
it.
Take
it!
it! Take another little piece of my heart now, baby!
Let's just start this way. Words are
Remember old Janis Joplin?
uniformly stressed on the first syllable. Let's just say that, but we're not. It's not written in stone. It's just so
I
that
really
we
like
remember.
Janis
Okay.
Joplin, by the way. This is probably something
We
you
can
didn't know
change it
about
up and
me.
have
But
a
yeah,
real
I'm a
roll.
big fan of Janis Joplin.
But let's just say that for right now.
Takes guts to sing like that and to just like murder your throat.
Oh,
So we had Jason wrote, reporters on the scene are describing widespread intervocal clinician.
Like, how
Some
did she do
things
it?
you should leave.
Sorry,
to
every
Janis
once in a while I
Joplin.
get so sidetracked by seeing such wonderful
Second, let's
comments
see.
that it's just so much fun.
Oh,
No, that's good. That's
yeah,
good
Janis
because I'm not
Joplin
looking
isn't
at them
on there
enough.
for
I feel
album.
bad. But
Kind of embarrassed to
Peterson
admit it, but
covered
when I
that.
listened to Boast was her greatest
Right?
hits.
all right.
That's what it's gonna be.
I know. I know.
After you give me such crap
Okay.
All right. So
for
I know.
liking greatest
we were
hits
gonna
albums,
treat,
you're telling me that you listen
missiles
to the greatest
differently.
hits of one of your favorite artists and feel no shame.
I think she's a great vocalist.
think.
I think she's amazing. I think without her, there is no Axl Rose.
versus,
But you know, I haven't listened to the straight album. She was with a band called Big Brother and the Holding Company.
versus
Yeah. You know what we could be doing right now while there's this downtime? You know what could be happening?
Gala versus
I'm scared.
Popcorn.
Okay. One possibility is this.
You really had me scared there for a minute. Like, oh my god, what are you gonna like make me pronounce the things here or something?
Ooh,
So
what a
Tom,
good
the
idea.
only thing
Can you pronounce that
seems,
first one?
Fully decided on syllable structure
Bada.
is
There
that
you
right
go.
now it looks like
That's not
nasals
bad.
can appear at the end
Oh,
of
I know.
or appear as codas.
Well, actually, nothing has been decided.
Yeah, nothing has been decided. It's
Sorry.
just these are the example words we're playing with, and if they become
Oh, I
real
we keep having to
proto-stems,
like
then
let people know nothing's been decided.
Well, in fact, these protoforms, I'm still going CV because you can always have CV. So I haven't even. Well, no, actually though, we have over here
You're
the
holding your
possibility,
throat.
right, of nasal.
I hold my chin
Yes,
a lot.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
You
But,
hold your throat.
So this is
I do.
one possibility.
You just
Empathetic
did
vowel,
this
we
whole
have a
stint
schwa,
of holding your
so
throat.
why not? And then
No, right now you're doing this, but
and
before
then,
that you were.
incidentally,
My
something I'd
stars.
like to do with schwas, that's a little fun, is that you can, if there's a front vowel in the word, and you want to lose that schwa, it becomes an eh, and if there's a back vowel, it becomes an o. It's just
Look
kind
at
of
that,
like
I
a
impressed
long
you.
distance assimilation. It's kind of fun. I don't know. Anyway, so that's one possibility. Another possibility is, of course,
Oh, there's my.
it does the
thinking
exact
face.
same thing as it does intervocalically.
Also, totally made a note there.
And then this will be.
You act like
what?
you didn't impress me before.
Right.
That.
This guy is going to be different.
Okay.
He's always going to be different. So bear that in mind. And then,
special.
yeah, let's get some more room.
I had wide eyes there. As I read
Another
that.
possibility is both.
I don't know how much time.
So
Oh, there's like 30 minutes left. I guess I could do
I'm gonna
some.
call this-
Jason was very excited about vowel harmony.
thought.
I mean,
About
by the time I
harmony.
make the popcorn,
Yeah.
If you don't
Let me
want
tell
very
you,
much, you can just
New
put
Zealand,
4
trust
kernels
me, it's
in,
going
and
to
then you
have
can
vowel
have 2
harmony.
and I can
So
have
we
2.
could do that. We could do both. This is I call this the Jesse sound change, so that no words begin with a velar nasal.
See?
I never said they couldn't. I was just making suggestions.
never said they couldn't.
All right.
I really wanted this language
Okay.
actually to
And
have
then,
initial velar nasals.
Not enough vowels for harmony. Oh my
Well, the mice
goodness,
do.
you have not seen more.
Mice do, yeah.
And the mice
All
and
right.
rabbits are friends.
They are indeed.
As
You're
a
right.
side note,
And
I'm
so
already
maybe they'll rub off on
feeling
each other, and
the third
Nyala
column
will
that
just
you
become
created.
Nyala.
Ooh.
Third, not including the first
would the
column,
mice do
or
that?
Right, the one that your cursor is on
There we
right
go.
now.
Yeah.
Abala.
that's kind of cool, isn't it? And then what would happen, by the way, since this is
Yes.
something that's privileged and we're working with word initial stress, if we started off with just word initial stress, these would suddenly be stressed on the second syllable.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would already be
Ah.
an exception.
Trying to think
the
what
rule.
notebook I would have had beside me.
Um,
So I can go
anyway,
find it,
okay.
and I can look at the notes
all right.
from this episode to see what I was
There
actually
is
writing
there
down.
another- Oh, I'm sorry. Of course, there's always
I'm so distracted by his
this
eyes.
option. This one.
Dear diary.
No, I'm not going to write it again. This is always an option. The first column, nothing happens. All right.
Dang, look at that.
So
Oh yeah, no, that started super early, and it became a whole thing until we just made it happen.
So,
Oh, by the
Jesse,
way,
you're
I just
feeling D.
pointed at the screen, and they couldn't even see what I was pointing at because it's
Oh
covered
my
by
God.
I'm
that.
gonna revisit
Okay,
this.
Dominic.
go ahead and read it.
Dominic Doherty
Necessarily
says
says.
Ingala should be the rabbit language's name, and basically he just said that out of nowhere,
It has
and we
already
made it
been
a reality.
voted for
And then Mate seconded
Ngala
it.
being the language name.
Nice.
Oh no, wait. No, that's Angala.
Ngala, I'm sorry, I added a G.
And at
Yeah,
this stage, it
Ingala.
is Ingala.
That's my American pronunciation.
Only later
of
would
the
it become
language. I do
Ingala.
apologize.
Here, pronounce this Americanly.
Americanly, I love it. Which one?
This. What
Oh,
I just-
that? Angola.
Oh.
Come on. I put a double L in there. Maybe. Okay, fine.
You said Americanly.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, Ngala?
Okay, but like as in, like tongue and you know. You know.
I see the prefix on.
You
Ngala.
know, oh right, of course you do. But like.
Of course I do, exactly.
Right. No, but like no. Isn't there, right? But there's no other way to get schwa. But just out of curiosity, you say hanging, right? You don't say hanging, do you?
Just a second. I need to, first of all, not think too hard, otherwise I don't know what I say. And then I'm just going to talk about some of the posters that are hanging on my wall. How
There you
did
go.
I just say hanging?
Just for the velar nasal. All right.
There we go.
Good. All right. Angala. So
Okay.
it shouldn't be too bad. Angala.
Ngala. I like it. Did I hit it too hard again?
Well, no. You're reducing the schwa because it's cool. You're actually approaching a velar nasal at the beginning of the word, but just say angala. Angala. It's got its status.
Ngala.
Angala. And then with the vowels appropriately, angala. Angala.
Love it.
Okay.
I'm not going to say
seeing
it
those
again.
for
I
D.
love it. Moving on.
All right. All right. I didn't think they'd swing that way, but all right. No. Kidding. That's good. All right. Let's okay.
Oh,
so
we
there
did
are
not do
a bunch
that
of sound
idea of
changes in
Dominic's,
here
though,
that we
with the
need to
unga
make
could be
a
the word
note
for
of.
rabbit and
And
possible first
so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to
that's too much.
jot them
That's too
down
much.
quickly in my book, and then I'm going to go and write them. Okay, so
And it's
first,
also the
we
word
are
for good,
getting,
and it's also the word for love, and it's also the word
schwa
for hello and goodbye.
emphasis,
And ear.
And ear. Yeah.
I mean,
of
God,
course.
come on, have some respect for yourself. These are rabbits.
with
Unga.
word
It's
initial
and it's onomatopoeic.
prenasal consonant. So that's important. And then we have.
Is this a
again,
sign we've been
it's-
hanging out
it's
too
gonna be
much?
Wide scale lenition.
All right.
All right.
It's about time for us
So
to see
that's
other
that's what we're in
co-hosts.
for. Wide scale lenition. I hope everybody is happy with that because that's what's important.
Call me,
All right,
babe.
so
I'm actually writing it down in all capital letters.
I get first bibs.
there we go.
Ah, nice.
Intervocalic. I can't forget that.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Oh my
Wide
gosh.
scale intervocalic.
He's so wise. I wrote this down too.
I'm writing, but you hear
There.
me writing.
I don't know if you can see this because the marker
Because
I
you were-
pulled up is pink, but
It is.
Dun,
But oh my
dun,
gosh,
dun.
we did not coordinate this. But I have pink marker too.
Yeah!
Oh.
Look
That
at
was not coordinated.
High five.
Boom.
Oh.
Way off on that high five, but yeah, that was good.
Nice.
That was good. Better high
All right,
five.
so then
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
wide scale intervocalic lenition, what it's going to do is it's going to, okay, oh, no, there's a step in between that, isn't there? No, it's not. No, there's no step in between that. What am I talking about? Pre-nasalized consonants become nasals. Nasals in the same place of articulation. And then this pre-nasalized Z, let's talk about that. So, nza, nza, nza. My thought was that
Gosh, so terrible.
it can go two ways. It can go two ways.
Muddies the whole
By
thing.
the way, we're leaving.
Also, at
we're
this
leaving
point in the
blue.
stream,
We're not
from here on
necessarily not going to do that, but
Headphones are no longer comfortable after like an hour.
we go.
Mateus
And so
just
for
point
the
out that it should
second
be
hour of
widespread,
every
not
stream where I'm
wide
wearing headphones,
And,
you'll see me
I
fiddling
mean,
with them
absolutely right.
because I'm like trying to
Unbelievable.
slightly
I wrote
move them.
that in my
Same
own
with
book, my
AirPods.
own
Fine
hand.
for like
So
an
sorry.
hour, and then I
Absolutely
start like
right.
fiddling with them because they get very uncomfortable.
I am
Really? I
fixing
didn't
my
even notice
copy
they're
right
in the
now.
AirPods.
Yeah, I fixed mine too.
But for the headphones, how many
Okay, I'm
should I
sorry.
wear
Back
those?
to the prenasal.
Okay, so this can become this.
I mean, I didn't have AirPods.
No,
I
it's
know.
fine. We're not
Yeah, you
we're not
got
having
them.
the nasals come down. They're not going to become codas. So it's
I
either
don't
it's
know.
going to become that. It could be.
And then even
become
after I
this.
got them, there were times I had to switch back
Actually,
because they weren't charged or whatever.
Right.
but that wouldn't be a coda.
And there were some episodes where I'm actually not wearing AirPods, but wearing earbuds that are
you only
connected
talking
via a
coda
wire.
right now?
Oh,
Is that
right.
what's
And
on
so I
this?
just couldn't pull back too far from my computer.
Man, remember when your phone always used to come with those? And it also used to have an audio jack?
So now,
I really feel like it's going to become that. It could also become.
AirPods are pretty great, though.
I'm just talking about the NZ.
I will
In
say though, I
between
still like
vowels,
my beats for
what is it going to
the effect
become?
of
My-
the
my
coziness
first
for,
instinct-
Yeah.
for certain things. And when it's chilly outside,
I mean,
they act as
Ooh,
both
a little
earmuffs
warmer.
and
I did
music
like
players.
the-
And so
this
it's
is
very
my first
nice.
instinct.
They
This
had-
is, I
they had
think,
beats
what's
for your
more
nose.
likely. It actually
Okay.
merges.
My
Right.
nose isn't usually
But I'm
a
willing to be
problem.
talked
That
out
was
of
a
it.
general you.
Oh, okay. In other words,
Okay,
your nose.
so
Yeah.
going back to, because this is our word here up above that would have this situation.
Oh, look at my cute little orange highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cute.
hmm So,
Thinking
Oh, I'm
face.
seeing how you're getting the DZ now.
Yeah.
Now that I'm.
Yeah,
See?
saying it out, saying it in my head, but I won't say it out loud.
Cincy.
And then
Cincy. Cincy.
Yeah,
Another
that's it.
possibility. I'm going to throw this out there.
Oh my god, you're
Sorry.
throwing something out.
There we go. Gemini.
No.
oh, interesting. People are liking the DZ. So DZ is on the table.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not sure how I feel about the Gemini. I do like the DZ. And not because I'm against Geminids or that Gemini in particular.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, I feel like that Gemini would be more likely if there was something else along with
Sure.
this single prenasalized consonant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
See, this is why I like working with you. You never, like, you don't try to butter me up.
This was my buttering up.
I mean,
Well, there
well,
was
you're never
also a
mean
question
about
of
it, but
the
it's never
Geminis
like you
with-
just say, "Oh, that's good,"
Oh,
and you're
wow,
thinking,
caps
"Oh,
lock.
that's terrible." You know what I mean?
I'm yelling it at you.
I'm gonna say no. I mean, potentially yes, but
Jason says Gemini plus an advocate feels like a hat on a hat.
It would be a later
Yes.
sound change. I guess okay. So I guess what's happening is that this thing, with this sound change, right?
Which is obviously
This
the one we
thing
go
is
for.
kind of assimilating to that thing, and then
Right.
it's just simplifying.
Mm-hmm.
So and so with this one, this thing would be assimilating to that
This
thing. and so it
episode, I
would
did
be
not realize how
becoming
much of it was just how do we deal with
this.
prenasalized.
I mean, with a tie bar, so it's a single
Things.
sound,
Yeah, it's.
and then it's.
I'm not going to say it was a mistake to include these in Ingala, but it just
Yes.
made things very
I
difficult.
guess we can do that.
but it was a mistake.
I guess we can do that.
You know, something.
We want to talk about
I
mistakes.
just
Let's start
want somebody
watching
to
season
just
2.
stand up and say,
Oh
yes,
goodness gracious, you're
easy
right.
is the way.
It's the way.
I'm glad that
Thank
we're
you.
bringing some order
I'll
to
do it.
that
All
now
right,
in the
so
Patreon live streams.
That
Like,
fixes
you
that
know,
problem.
I think
little
it's
All right.
getting there.
but you know,
We haven't
when I was
got-
pronouncing
It's
this,
going to get nuts when we get there. But
you hear me pronounce it like 3
We
times,
are
I
2
think. The
steps
first time it
into
was just
8
trying
right
and it
now.
was a total misfire. The second time I thought I did it well, and then on reflection in my head, I realized what I
All
did,
right,
and then I pronounced it
think what I'm
correctly
gonna
the second
do
time.
is I'm gonna
Because
put,
the first time what I did
curly brackets
is I just
indicate
lengthened
that
the
they're
vowel.
no longer there.
So instead of saying "sinzi," I said "sinzi."
Ah.
And the thing is, if we had just deleted those nasal codas and left long vowels, that would have made things a lot simpler.
Actually, you're right. Yeah. See,
okay.
easy. Yeah.
And now, what
Shoulda,
have
woulda,
we
coulda.
got?
Yeah.
Well, this, the parentheses come
It's
off.
okay. We got
yes,
some
'cause
cool
it has to be a
nasalized
full-
things happening in
It's a
another
full-fledged
language
phoneme, but if you want, we can
that-
mark
that
in
people
some
will
way
know
that it
about
wasn't
at
an
some point.
original one.
That's true.
in
Do
the
we want to do
future.
that?
Yeah. By the way, I forget.
What
I
is your
think I
normal
told
way
you
of
about this, but I
marking
told you
these
that like they're sharing
non-original?
photos of
Did you
our
use Aspen?
language work on Instagram.
I actually
right?
don't.
On the gram.
If it's
Oh,
a
I know.
phoneme, then I
Yeah.
just write it as a phoneme. But it seems like it would be instructive to let us know if any of these things weren't original.
Is this
So-
where we
doubt it.
invent the
The
color?
color coding.
Wow.
I
You know,
thought
we
that
could do
was
that
just a
if this
thing
were
you
no-
did.
oh,
I didn't
wow.
realize
I mean,
we
you can do
did it
without.
here.
Gosh, that looks
I thought we
sexy.
did it
But,
much later. I knew that we invented it.
Oh,
I
haven't
just
seen
thought it
because
was much
you haven't
later.
moved off the cell.
Oh, wait. Nope, that means... Okay, well, they've seen it. Here.
Oh, no.
Oh, I want that.
I know, but the problem is not everything is going to italicize. So, let's just...
Sure.
I roll.
Let's...
This is me
Because
at
if
first
an
just staring
asterisk
at you
is an
think.
older form,
Yeah.
what would a
And then I'm like, oh, I'm
suggestion
supposed to
for a newer
contribute.
form be?
Eyes go up as I think.
And Jason, you're absolutely right. The italic angma is swoon-worthy.
Hmm.
Oh, color coded,
Code.
bolded.
Thank you,
Actually,
Hobo Man
color
Cat.
coding would be good. Since you said modern, I was thinking hashtag.
That's totally what I was thinking when I said that.
God.
It's hilarious. So I didn't say it out loud because I'm like, well, that's just silly. But it's not, apparently.
No, but
You're on
actually,
it.
no. I keep forgetting that it's like, oh, it's a document. You can use color. No, obviously, color is the best solution. I don't know.
Thank you, Gravity Grid.
Yeah.
For that suggestion. I did not accept the credit there. That was
We
Gravity
missed who
Grid.
had the original suggestion there.
It's just kind of embarrassing.
Mm.
All right.
Sorry,
Especially
Hobo Man
when you've
Cat.
already color coded down below.
Yeah.
It's like color is obviously there.
All right. I'm gonna go with. Oh, that wasn't what I was trying
Oh.
to color.
Oh,
Oh, hi. That was green.
Yeah. Let's make it a little darker than that. Okay. It's still a little light. Let's make it super
see
dark.
if I fix
Okay,
my
there we go.
error.
Green.
Sorry, Hobo Man Cat. It was also your suggestion to color code.
Also.
All right.
I don't mean to take away credit.
As I'm like,
Um,
what color is this?
I mean, I can see it enough. It's not like super green, but I can see it enough.
And then
Kinda hard
for
to see on this
deleted
screen.
ones,
Yeah,
let's
it
just
is.
use red.
Yeah, Mateus is like,
oh, yeah, that's
need much more.
green
The red
could
is
go
good.
with-
You know, the problem is that's just the colors they give you. Those aren't the...
If you
the
can't see
not the colors they
green,
give
I
me.
mean,
yeah.
You need my
is there
colors.
something else we could?
You know
is
that
there
there's
way
a
we can
difference.
get it
I know, and I
clearer,
still don't get
but
why.
Also still legible.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, just a second. I'm gonna see.
Oh yeah, you go.
But
for
also,
it.
like, you know that, like, canonical
I'm gonna do
red,
this.
right, is
I'm gonna ruin your beautiful green
FF0000,
color.
right?
Got it.
Just like canonical blue is
Okay, yeah, no, no, no.
0000FF. Or that's like, you know, the you know, like how the vowels,
That's
the
more
polar.
greeny, right?
That's polar
That's
red
good.
and polar blue.
Let's do that.
That's not what they
Okay.
give you there. They give you
All right,
like a
good.
little bit
So
in from that.
I want
That
to check.
is
Like, I'm pretty sure it's
settled.
because our
I've got the
settings are
sound
different.
changes written
Like
down.
with something on a color preference.
Maybe.
It's got to
Okay,
be
so what I'm gonna
something.
do is I'm
Because
gonna
yeah,
go
I
write
get
these
much better
sound
colors
changes
than you
in.
as options. But whenever I use your templates, I'm
maybe
stuck with yours
You can look at
because
the
it's
blue
your
versus
template.
black thing going on, the
But
vowel changey stuff.
in my
Let's
documents,
see.
I get
what
this
you think.
beauty.
That is really interesting.
What I
Yeah.
think I already
And
know
I
what I
don't
think.
Oh, what do you
know
think?
The only
if
thing-
it's like
Well,
a
I definitely
pages
like the vowel
preference
changey lowering,
Okay.
or if it's like a
and
computer
I'm
preference.
on
Name
the
used
fence
for
of just
phonemes is
having the
T.
go to an
I
O
never said it, and I don't know
instead,
why there's a
and
T there.
Just do it now. Go
just
type
think,
your
you know
name.
what, that's what
That
happened.
seems like a lot
Yeah,
of work.
that's what happened. I did that sound change with a Raytheon, and I really liked it. It did have a concomitant sound change where
But when I'm not collaborating, I'm
it
always
became
collaborating.
A,
I
but
don't
we don't even have that
otherwise
quite.
use.
Just type
So
your
guys,
name.
I just had an
type in your name.
experience
Type
where
in
I
your name.
realized I've been
Just
saying a
type
word
in
wrong my entire
This means a lot to you.
time I
doesn't
ever
it?
Yeah,
knew
it
it was a
does.
word.
What?
Can you say that again? The change,
Lowercase?
they happen hand in hand.
I'm seeing all the ways I can horrify
Concomitant?
you. We should be paying
Concomitant.
attention up here.
Wow, I have said it not that way my entire.
Is there another way to say it?
I'm gonna look it up right now because that is not.
Hold on. How were you saying it? Were you saying it bagel? Sorry. Did you watch Community?
No.
Oh, darn it.
Just the way you said it.
All
Concomitant.
right, let's see.
Concomitant.
Concomitant.
Wow.
How are you
I
supposed to
think
pronounce
I have
it?
completely ignored the fact that there is an N there, and I've always said co-committant.
Whoa!
Ah!
when you said it, I knew.
And like that's
Saying,
still in
but
my
I was
head
like,
how I say it.
Oh, wow. That's something.
Wow, this is what happens, folks, when you see words on paper, but you have no reason to say them out loud.
I
until
guess.
It's my
you
accent
do.
color.
And then you realize you're a
Those are my
chameleon
colors.
in the forest of life.
Oh my god.
Do you watch How I Met Your Mother?
I have seen it. Yes. I haven't seen every episode, but I've seen it.
Well,
I've seen a lot of the
Ted
episodes.
finds out in one episode that he said chameleon the wrong way his whole life.
I always thought that superfluous and superfluous were two different words.
See,
I
you
mean,
make mistakes too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, but that was the only one.
I'm going to.
I didn't have schwa insertion. Oh wait, no, there it is. I just saw it. No, it's
So
stop
rude.
insertion. All right, well that's
All
close
right,
enough.
so here's the spelling of the word for anybody who wants to see it in the comments. That's the word that I just learned how to say.
And I've forgotten how to say it in the last few minutes. Concomitant?
Concomitant.
Nice.
I mean,
And I'm
we
still
should look it
gonna
up to see if I'm
forget how
pronouncing it
to
correctly.
emphasize
Who
it.
knows?
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Oh, Jason, I feel like that was a dig on me, but you're absolutely right.
Oh,
I
she
read
put
a
it.
lot of books
You
and
put it in
don't
the
get out
comments.
enough.
Yes. Concomitant.
Concomitant?
Alright.
Oh my gosh.
Concomitant.
Nothing goes to schwa.
So it's
in
not
the
concomitant.
environment at the beginning of the word before a pre.
Oh my goodness.
Nasalized.
I still like concomitant.
And
Go to this one.
I'm going to write
Concomitantly.
schwa.
Unbelievable.
Before word initial.
I like it.
Nasalized consonants. Okay, and then the
This is good.
widespread, not scale, widespread intervocalic clinician happens after that.
Okay, so what?
Let's see what
Nice
I
drink
got
there.
for that.
It actually made it in my mouth.
Oh, and also, Jason, no worries. That was actually a very valid statement for myself as well.
Close. I don't need to do that. I was just.
Jason apologized and said it was a dig on him. Well, maybe not apologized. I don't know if that was an apology, actually, but it's a fair assessment of my life.
This sound
Yes.
change that I have in here, this came from Hakanaki,
I have
the language I created
always-
for the Caveman show that never aired twice.
Oh, and I need to see
Interesting.
where
Uh-huh.
are the sound changes. What
Interesting.
page? Oh, here
Anyway,
we go. I'm on it.
Yeah,
no, I've always
it's
struggled
occurring to me
with
that maybe they
pronunciation.
shouldn't be so far away from the beginning.
There's a little bit.
But that's why you
of
just
space with
embrace it, and it's
morphology
one of my
syntax.
quirks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not morphology, just syntax.
That's
What?
it's a quirk
Just
that's
syntax. What?
concomitant with
no,
me.
There's no M word anymore, I've decided.
No. I mean, there's no syntax. It's just all morphology.
Just no
Concomitant with me.
Morphology is how.
Concomitant
Do you
with
think,
me.
word
do you think that a
morphology
year from now
predated
we're
the
going to
word
remember that
morphing,
it's
right?
pronounced concomitant?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna forget that.
But
Just like I
I
forgot
guess-
that this was a thing, and when I heard it on here, I was like, "What word is that?"
Um,
Completely
there's a whole
forgot. I
debate.
was like, "What
It's
word are you
okay.
even talking about?"
So the schwa insertion before a pre-nasalized consonant is the one
And
that
same
you
way
said that was actually
Every time we talk about it,
in what language? Hakanakwa?
Akanaki.
I have to think
Akanaki.
about.
Do you
It's-
like how I changed that for you?
Yeah, it's
Commitative.
crazy. Based on where the
It's
stresses
not
are and everything,
commutative.
things
commitative.
get either simplified or they get
Every time.
geminated, like every other syllable. It was
Better than
actually
commitative.
inspired by something that I saw in a language that
Like
Sylvia
Schuyler?
Sotomayor was looking at. She reads through everything by
Killing me.
Eichenwald and Dixon.
Killing me.
Um,
Ugh.
like
hurt me
literally
bad
everything.
when people
There are
pronounce it that way.
100-page tomes, and one of them had something very similar that I thought was cool that I thought I could make work really well. And it came off very well.
Yeah, I could-
for the
I should
Caveman
play
show
for
that
you the,
nobody has ever seen.
Sound, you know what I
Twice.
should do?
Twice.
It's
is
been
so
long enough.
unfortunate
I should
that
just
that
put all
happened.
those files on my website.
You can't share
Can
it.
you?
Yep.
What do you
Alright,
mean?
so first
Which
thing
files?
is
For that
let's see
show,
here.
Dawn.
Is it allowed?
On
Well, it's been long enough. I figure
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't know. Like,
what the
It's been
What the
long
fuck?
enough. It's not.
listen, I'm just gonna go
So
on
the
air to
little-
say
the
like
little
I.
pre-nasalized are not
Once I
how
sign
it's
something,
legible?
I'm like, God, it
No,
is
they're not.
like under trap
Evidently
and
not
key
in the
and
book.
locked and.
Okay. So
And
that,
naturally, I take my non-disclosure
becomes-
agreements very seriously as well.
actually
For
there's no
years
simple
and
way to write
years
that
and
rule, is there?
years.
Indefinitely. in perpetuity throughout the universe.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay,
I'm so
we
glad
gotta just
that
do
now
it
I don't have to
this
get as
way.
close to my camera every time we
Okay, so
like do things.
consonant
Mm-hmm.
minus continuant. There becomes a nasal. And then
Also, like, it's very interesting. I'm all like
otherwise,
leaning forward in all of these.
Mm-hmm.
plus
I'm in it,
continuant
and you're like
becomes.
This is
I'm
my
just gonna write
thing.
A for
Back.
African.
This is my
there.
thing.
slouch,
It's my thing.
And then we
Just
will,
hanging.
Ooh.
and I'm like, I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
okay,
There
so
you
then
go.
Enter
Gotta find those
vocalic
notes.
lenition.
You gotta find those notes.
Pre-nasalized.
Take a picture of them, and we're gonna put them on Patreon.
Stops
I don't know, it
to
depends on what I wrote.
become Home organic. Nasals. By the way, I hate that word because it feels like it should be homo organic.
Too early
but
for
it's
that.
written homo organic.
Yeah.
Sure is.
Also, have you ever come across in the literature the word warder or worder?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Order.
right. Word order.
Is that how you
yes.
pronounce it?
I don't know. I'm trying to say what you're saying. I'm like staring at you.
Worder.
Just worder? I
Yes.
have not seen that. No.
And it is a portmanteau of word order.
I had definitely not seen it.
I have seen it in
Yeah.
papers, real
My
linguistics
eyes look really
papers.
dark.
They use it.
Hmm? I suppose they
Worder.
do.
Is it worder or
I-
I was
worder?
gonna use a different adjective.
Worder. It has to be worder, right?
Or is it just one of those?
Worder is horrible.
Or is it just one of those things where you just say word order and it's written that way, kind of like pounds is written LBS?
I'm wondering, like, how lazy we have to be that we can't just say word order. It's not like it took out that much to say worder.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Worder.
It seems like it came out of the
Worder
era
is what you
of,
drink in
the
Philadelphia.
70s where if two phonological rules, one was better if it used less ink. It was
Done
real.
and done.
It was real. It was real. Anyway, but
Okay.
by the way,
This
you
is
know
some
how
good
I
stuff.
pronounced LBS when I was a kid? I thought it had a pronunciation. Or
Oops.
I just said it in my head.
Oh,
I
Is it
called them
No.
Lillibuzz.
Lillibuzz.
that's
Oh,
right.
wow. I thought maybe you would go for, like, loops or something, but you
No.
just added a bunch. Do you want to know a
Yeah.
fun story about how I pronounced
Because-
something
oh,
differently
because-
as a kid?
Oh, but I was going to say, just to clarify, because LBS is short for Lillibuzz.
Of course.
Obviously.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Anyway, okay, so yours, is it co-commitment?
So, I still couldn't say that as an adult. So no, when I was younger, I couldn't say hamburger,
Oh yes.
and so I would pronounce it hangaburger.
Oh,
That's very
Isn't that
true.
cute?
That sounds like a
that's
chain.
cute.
A hangaburger. All right, so if anyone opens hangaburgers, I want some credit somewhere.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to
Yes.
Hamburger. You order it, we put it on the hook. You get it. I love it. Okay, so it's it stops to become
You
organic
always made
nasals
fun of me.
and pre-nasalized fricative to become an affricate. Okay, so that's done. Now we just need to. And was there another sound change
Okay.
somewhere in there?
Can we
think that
do a
was it.
comparison too with how you wrote these rules
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh.
season 1 versus
Hey, I know John
season
McWhorter.
2 versus season 3?
Did you see my taste?
Where
girl?
this you're
Hangaburgers
like
for your
home
hangover.
organic consonants and all of this.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to
There we
season
go.
3, it's like, by committee,
Now that's an idea.
the mice have
That's really
decided
good.
that all shall be.
All right,
and, you know,
okay,
like, it's just
you
much
liked
different.
the vowel
So
change.
what were you thinking working with me?
I did, yes.
I was very
Okay,
nervous
so we've
working
only
with
got
you.
4 vowels that we need to
Oh, I
worry
was-
about
Honestly,
right now.
this was like Christmas
And
every
so
single day.
Let's get rid of this.
I was just so excited and was
let's
having so
do
much fun,
just-
and every single day
I don't know.
was so much fun.
Scene,
So it's like, no, I wasn't nervous.
soon,
That's just
just-
sweet.
It was just great.
and
It was amazing.
sun.
It was also nice to be able to work on something that had no deadline, you
Yeah.
know, and no real pressure, and
And
where we could basically
we
do it the way
have-
we wanted,
Yeah.
aside from doing it how patrons want us to do.
So if we want
Aside
to,
from that. Was this what
if
we
we
end
want
up?
this to happen for the pre-nasalized
Our first poll.
I think
consonants,
so.
this sound change has to occur first. So it'll be in between our 2. Oh, oh,
Okay, what do you got?
if it occurs, it makes a difference where it's ordered because we have the schwa insertion. So if something's going to happen a schwa before a nasal, then it matters where it's ordered with respect to that as well.
The back of them.
Okay.
Because otherwise that would have to change. Or sorry, that could not change.
Exactly.
Otherwise the other one would have to. Yeah.
All right.
Or rather, let's put it this way. This one would change, but the one that was inserted emphatically would not.
Because it came after.
Yes.
I got to use my hands.
Okay, we're on the right order.
Oh my god.
Adjusting.
Toronto in there. Dang. All right. Anyway, okay, so
Should this be our last decision of the day?
probably.
Since
Yeah, you're right.
Jesse
It's
keeping
getting-
David on
going on.
time
it's
since
getting
episode
late.
1.
All right. So, okay. So this is if there's lowering happening. We know that that's going to happen.
The
We don't know
adjustments
what's
get more
happening
frequent.
here.
Oh. So maybe. Okay.
Interesting. I hold on to that pin this entire
Because
episode.
otherwise, if the
And I think I
odds
did that in a lot of
raised to the
episodes.
those are all going to overlap.
I don't have writing utensils
Which
next
is
to me anymore,
fine.
so now I'm just usually staring at my
But
computer
then
off into the
what would
side.
happen to
You
this?
don't need
But-
it anymore. It was, it was like your binky.
Great question.
My
Say
comfort
nothing.
blanket.
Yeah, but also
Well,
it makes you
right?
look
Here's
sophisticated.
one
Really not
option.
much.
Yes.
If these things are all going to mid, so this is one option. If
Because it's
going
everything's
to
just being
O,
pulled to the
that's
middle, 'cause
terrible.
In the middle it stays
Oh, you know what? I
yeah,
did that in
everything is
Arathian, didn't
getting
I?
lowered.
Ooh, and
Then
then we.
Dominic
Oh,
wanted
it's
to
terrible.
know,
Just stays
could you
on?
release the
Yeah, so that
Ashai
would happen.
language?
but I got to tell you, I'm not happy with either of those.
Whatever I released about it, I already. I didn't do anything. It was just a sketch.
I can't get comfortable. My ears, they're on fire. And I just keep moving them.
Wow.
What about? Do you not like the overlap, or do you just not like the sounds?
No, I love overlap. I love overlap.
This is me
Actually,
going,
I'm kind of feeling.
what's the holdup, David?
Ooh, I'm getting a
What's
call
the
from a
Hangaburger?
telemarketer from Fort Lauderdale. Should I answer?
But no, it made me me
gotta-
feel
I gotta
very
say, I'm kinda
uncomfortable for
feeling
schwa to be going to
this.
like that.
Kind of feeling C.
Okay.
Can you or
One-
anybody give me an option D?
Somebody better,
If you-
otherwise,
I mean,
because what we have right here is
sure,
unacceptable.
Also, interesting point. Up here, the only reason the N didn't stick around was because the Z after it. Is that right? Or would the N
No,
disappear
N was
when the vowel is lowered?
And was disappearing when the vowel was lowered. That was what was happening.
So, wouldn't that be an option?
That would be an option for all of those.
Obviously,
for
need
all
to
of
drink
them.
more water. I keep
So
getting
let's
foot cramps.
let's
Okay.
leave that
Yeah.
for something else.
You know,
Because
it helps
let's
remind
just
you to
deal with vowel
drink
quality
water
right
as
now.
having
Okay.
salty
There's
food.
also a raising option
Like
because
popcorn.
I've seen that. So if it was raised, we've got
Very excited to see what happens.
crap. One of those two, and then
You're almost there. You're almost there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, with the mid. And someone had asked, what about son, sen?
Octave.
Son, that would be lower.
We're so close to what we end up
those
doing
would
here
be-
because
that would
what
be
happens
raised,
is that
would be
ah goes to
lowered
eh
and lowered.
Mhm.
So we'd have this one as an oddball if
instead of
that were.
schwa, and schwa goes to e.
By the way, John Quijada has a word for that from his LCC2 talk
Oh, mouthfeel.
regarding the conversation about mouthfeel. You should look it up on YouTube. It's there. It's good. Okay, so
Is it bad that I like D simply because I feel like we could write in rules where you're going to see the the E in one situation and the E in another situation, and same for this.
We're so close.
You're talking about if in the presence of a back vowel or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will suggest that I'm probably going to want to ultimately get rid of those mid vowels, just so that I don't have to write them.
What?
But I mean, that could be a later sound change.
Shocking.
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So it's
I like how in the beginning you're all like,
scene if it's
I
dragged
think
forward,
that I
so
may want to
otherwise,
get rid of
so if
these
it's dragged
vowels, and
backwards,
now
so
like you
otherwise.
just start the language saying, well, I'm going to kill them.
I just, I
and
wanted
then
you
we'll
to
never
think well
have,
of me.
I was just, as I was pronouncing
man.
it, I was leaning towards C. Because I was pronouncing it with a schwa, and that schwa was just kind of
C
lowering
isn't the
a little
one
bit.
that wins.
And so I thought,
So you're leaning towards column C, is what you're saying?
Yeah. And you know, part of what was leading to the raising, I think, in Southern California English is that the vowel started off as low back. Like our
No, and I will
ah is just
continue
not
to
as
always
far
be
forward as like the say
way
the ah
less
is in
invested
Spanish.
in the sound
And so I
part,
think that was
other
part of what
than I
led
want
to
to be
the
able to say
raising.
it. And like, it's really interesting because that's like what you know most
say.
about a language is the sound.
Um,
But like in these, it's like I'm not like half the time I feel like I'm giving deference to you, like, oh, which one do
I'm
you
good
want?
with column
Cool.
C.
But like the reality is, I'm like,
that would be kind of cool.
I could go a lot of ways on the sound thing. I'd like to be able to pronounce it.
Really? Really, Weemhay?
Okay, some things I
mean,
do just because I'm like, oh, David really
ultimately,
doesn't
I
like it.
have
It
to
must
defer
be in
to
the
you.
language. That was
Because
funny.
You outrank me.
It was funny.
And now it's in the phrase book in your book.
But you are the master.
You let it happen.
Yeah. But you
So
have-
anyway,
you have
but I
to-
just find it
you
really
shot
interesting
straight
because
to
it's
the
like
pay
I feel
scale.
much more strongly about
Still-
other things in the language.
Still working on my postgraduate
Sound
credits.
has never been my forte, nor has
Okay, well then
pronunciation,
I vote.
or writing formal rules.
I'm seeing
Where I'm
if
just
any
like,
of
say this goes to that.
people
Done
mention
and
that they like-
done.
But the thing is, like, if you don't write the formal rules, then you forget exactly how they work.
Oh, is
later
it going
on.
4 vowel to 3 vowel? No. I mean,
Then
in
language
this
change happens,
very
and it's
narrow
beautiful.
phonetic context. I mean, schwa is still around elsewhere, plenty of places. And we haven't even got to the vowel combinations yet. We're talking about single vowels, just single vowels. There are going to be, 2
a whole
vowel
other thing.
combinations that lead to so much mayhem and mischief. Just you wait.
All right, so all the votes that are being recorded are for column D.
You know what?
D?
Oh, no, there's one for C.
I was like, wait,
One.
Jesse, do you see this?
All right.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Let's-
Do you see this?
Let me jump ahead and just a quick question for
I ran out of one water bottle and
basically
had to go
for
to another.
this form.
I'm also out
Just say
of
Dala.
this one.
Let's say if we did see, do you want?
Feel bad for you,
I'm
son.
sorry,
Thanks.
Anala or Anala? In other words,
Thank you.
is that epenthetic schwa? Is this change happening before or after the epenthetic schwa?
Before.
Before. All right. I like before. I like before. I'm gonna go on record as saying that.
We agreed.
But maybe what we should do is we should make this our first poll: C versus D. What do you think?
Ooh.
I think so. I think that should be it right there.
All right. So we're going to. For those who are following us on Patreon, we're going to throw polls onto there, and basically just let you decide. So we'll lay out C and D and put the poll on there, and then we will abide by the results.
I like it.
The schwa is now characteristic of the
What's that?
language, no?
Nothing.
We
I'm not
couldn't
going to
possibly
influence
get rid
it.
of it.
I'll abide by it. I'll fix it. I'll fix it no matter what happens. Gosh darn
And
it.
then David happens.
There's going to be 8 other sound changes introduced later.
I've done
Wow.
it before. I'll
Yep.
do it again.
Yep.
All right. Okay, cool. So yeah, anyway, by the way, big thank you to our two patrons. So that's
Yes.
Mateus.
Mateus
Oh,
Woods.
Am I coming close to that? Mateus. Please tell me if I'm close, because that
Yeah, your hair is
Dutch
far too
diphthong
short.
tells you.
Yeah.
And then our first patron, which you will pronounce it.
Oh, I was hoping you would. I actually had a note to say, ask David to pronounce the names for me.
Yeah.
And since you clearly said I outranked
Rod.
you, that's all on you.
Oh, brother. All right, just a minute. So, I wonder if they're watching. Royd? I mean, okay, but it looks like a word that might be Celtic,
Right.
Uh-huh.
you know? And so
Yes.
Be like,
it feels really
Rave.
rude to say Royd if it's not Royd. I'm so sorry. But thank you. That was our very, very first patron, and we are very grateful to you. All right, so we're closing up shop, and then we were going to talk, because we forgot to, about when our next one is, because it can't be this time next Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a side note, I sent you an email with a list of times
Okay, let me...
that could work.
We
And so
changed
if maybe
a time
if you're
once?
able to make the decision
Yeah,
right now, we could let everybody
because-
watching.
Yes.
Remember,
right
that was
now.
my
Let me
last
pick it up
in-person
there.
presentation.
Okay, so here
I
we
gave
go.
that talk at Google LA.
Monday
It's at the bottom of the long email.
And
Yeah,
they're
so
like, some
Monday at
people might not
3,
come into
Wednesday
the
at
office because of the
2,
whole
Friday at
COVID
3.
thing.
Let me
I'm like,
ask you,
oh,
I'm looking
that's
at Monday
weird.
and Wednesday. How much
But it
time
was on a
do you
Thursday.
have for Monday starting at 3?
but
Do
like,
you have
Mhm.
do you have 2 hours? Are you good, or like?
So-
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
I would have 2 hours.
Okay, and Wednesday starting at 2.
Was that right?
but
I would
moving
also have 2
forward, does
2
that
hours.
mean that we don't have to
Okay.
cancel Thursday, December 9th? We could.
Both of those, and the reason
do
why
it
we didn't
another
do this the
day.
first time. So Maria gets home at 5.
suppose.
We have
on Monday,
precedence.
So like she could be coming
Yeah,
home
we do.
right at the end of that.
I
And then for Wednesday,
did not
if
know
I was
we
gonna
had
go to dance
precedence.
class, then I need to leave at 4. Oh, but you know what? I can always just go later. I can
I
just
think
go
Wednesday
later.
also would make it closer to our normal day. So
Yes.
if Wednesday is possible, that
Wednesday.
may be.
We also totally
Wednesday
legit
at
just had a
2
whole
p.m.
scheduling
Pacific.
conversation.
That is when
Yes.
episode 2
This
will
is the
be.
best
We
way
will
to end a
continue.
live stream.
This is like an
And,
8-minute conversation
yeah.
about when will we see you
This thing will
again.
get done. Gosh darn it. We're getting there. I already like some of the things that have happened. I'm very pleased. So,
I
yeah.
had no
Thank you
recollection
for,
of us
following
not
along.
doing
Thank
a
you for all the
Thursday.
comments.
Like I knew we had to
Jesse,
cancel before. I knew we had to
Oh,
post.
sure. I thought you
Yeah,
were
no,
going
there-
to
Things.
say
I don't
No,
something
there, yeah,
else
there was
beyond
ones
those. Thank
where
you,
we
so I
had
didn't
to do
wanna
it on
cut you off.
Wednesday.
But I
But
also,
see, after that, it
thank
was
you.
COVID,
You guys
and so
have been
there
an
was no more.
amazing
Yeah.
audience, and thank you for all the participation. And I can't wait to see you next week.
All right.
Look at
Thank you so
that.
much.
What's
Hopefully
that
someday
even?
the key thing will work, but you're all going to see
look
a
at that.
huge
Subscribe.
Whoa dude
That's
screen
exciting.
in a second.
Wow.
Here it goes. Woo. Yes. Worlds within worlds. All right, everybody. Bye. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
That was before state grammar even.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was.
All right, now just a second. I haven't hit the end stream yet. Just want to end on our actual.
Okay, there
Whoa.
we are. We are starting.
Which episode is
and-
this?
I don't know, but that's in Missouri.
This is
So.
Tapatla. What is this? Episode 228. It thought after watching episode 1, this is what we want to watch next. Episode 228.
It's rather loud too. Like our
Yeah,
volume
sorry.
has obviously
Got
been
better.
fixed.
Got better.
I am in.
Okay.
Sorry,
Anyway.
I just had to
Yeah.
respond
Oh, that's
to
my Cardinal shirt. I was like,
Yeah.
They're like,
Oh,
remember
so it
what's
is.
happening? Okay.
People
Anyway,
like to get down on
sorry.
their team sometimes, and they're like,
I wanted to
can
end
see,
this
you know,
on
sometimes
our
it's
normal
like-
state grammar. So,
Oh, right. Okay.
because this was, our first time doing this. We had never actually tried this before, so we hope it worked. We hope you have fun watching it,
Yeah.
reliving a bit of our early days
Yeah.
with us.
Oh, and guess what day it is?
It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everybody.
Thanksgiving. And yeah, we'll be back on December 2nd,
Mm-hmm.
normal time.
You think we should have a conversation about scheduling right now?
I think we should on December 2nd and have an 8-minute conversation. I'll email you with my available times and
Okay.
you can check.
All right. I'll get back to you in due course.
But we hope you are all having a wonderful day if you celebrate Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, we hope you're having a wonderful day too. And we'll see you next week. Stay grammar.
Bye.